Welcome to the Penance Halloween Special 2020. Some folk people will remember from the Animecast last year, and some other folk we know. So, starting from the top, who are you, where'd you come from, and who are you playing tonight? Starting with Anam.
Hello, I am Anam. I'm from Canada, and I'm going to be playing Mr. Luchgobar, the dwarf, a warrior man.
Alright, next we have Runie.
Hello, I'm Runie. I'm from the States. I'm going to be playing an elf named Triss.
Alright, next we have Ollie.
Hello, my name is Ollie, and I'm going to play a human named Rose.
Alright, next is Mads.
I'm Mads. I am from Bonnie, Scotland, and today I will be playing the halfling Penelope, Abigail, Samantha, Clarissa, Ashton, Lewis, but you may call her Penny.
Alright, and finally, making his glorious return to Penance RPG, we have Tauno.
Hello, it's Tauno, who you might remember from Abyss some time ago. I will be playing Searle, the Snake Slayer, who will likely be the straight man to everyone else's wise guy, and I'm still living in Denmark.
I didn't mention where I was from. I'm also from Denmark. I'm sorry.
That's fine. So, that is the cast for this evening. Let us begin. So, as usual, in these Halloween tales, you have all responded to a request for work on the tavern room wall. And as you arrive to meet the contact, you are gestured to a back room, which already seems quite strange. So as you walk into this back room and get yourself settled and drinks are brought to you, a very thin, nervous-looking man makes his way into the room. You can tell that he's quite nervous by the fact that he locks the door behind him and seems to check behind the curtains and make sure all the windows are shut before he comes over to the table, sits down, and seems to sort of look you all over before saying anything. So you're here about my work? The work I need, yes?
Yeah.
Work?
Good.
Yeah.
I need you to retrieve a small package for me.
What kind of package?
Oh, it's livestock. But don't worry, they're very furry. Just be careful.
I love furry things.
Good. That's good to know. Yes. If you could just go to this, it's a small village. I hired a caravan, you see, but it had an accident. And, my cargo is currently waiting in this small village, and I need it retrieved.
A quick question, Pupzki. Was there a name on the job listing?
Kelvin, wasn't it?
It was
Yeah,
Kelvin.
Kelvin was mentioned, but was that signed by Kelvin or meet Kelvin?
It was signed by Kelvin.
Okay. Alright, Kelvin. Presumably that's you. Do we have a contact in the village?
That's me, yes.
And our contact in this small village is...
Oh, I don't know anyone in the village. I just know because I had a letter sent to me saying that the driver of the caravan had turned up in this village.
So the stock might not actually be in the village so much as in the vicinity of the village.
Well, you know, the village, it's a small village and it's quite isolated. There's nothing else nearby. Hopefully it's still there.
Well, if it's furry and an animal, couldn't it, get up and walk away?
I
Yeah,
hope not.
I'm gonna ask for part of the payment up front here.
I don't exactly have any money. You see, oh God, oh, fine. I work for a guild, and I'm the treasurer, and I had a few too many ales, and well, someone came and offered me something, and me being rather intoxicated, accepted, and I ended up giving away half the treasury to this man. And when I came to the next day and spoke to him, he was very happy, but kind of understood that he'd misled me, and if I just gave him them back, he would probably return my money. But, problem is that they never reached me. And if I don't get them back, I'm going to probably be beheaded.
What kind of guild do you work for?
One that doesn't like its money going missing.
So all of them.
Yeah.
That is all of them. In my experience as a merchant, yes.
So if you could just fetch these fairy things and bring them back to me, then I could give them to the man, and the man could give me my money back, and I could put it back, and no one will know it's gone missing.
Do the furry things actually have a name?
Yeah, I was about to ask, do you have a description?
Yes. Are you familiar with Arachidin?
A what?
Excuse me?
He sort of scuffles through his pockets and pushes a bit of paper across to you with this name scritched across it. Are you familiar with these?
No.
Can't say that I am.
Oh, good. They're just small furry creatures. They're nothing to worry about. Just don't get them angry and keep them fed.
The way you keep saying that makes me think they're gonna try to eat us.
No, God, no.
Mm-hmm.
They're just small, fuzzy things. They're no bigger than a dog. Well, usually.
I mean, dogs are pretty great. And if I save a dog, then I'll be a real heroic type, right? Right.
Dogs can also vary in size quite a bit.
Atharacadian. Is this the kind of mission that hunters and adventurer types usually get, just for my notes?
It's a rare creature that's very, very sought after by mages. They're quite magical.
Ooh, what kind of magic?
He sort of looks round really shiftily, and then his shoulders sort of slump, and he goes, I suppose I should be honest with you. They're shapeshifters.
So they might not be small furry things.
Well, their natural form is small, furry, with really big furry ears. They're really quite cute. But the problem is they're slightly, mostly, entirely carnivoric.
There we go.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask for a raise.
Hello.
Yes, we should probably discuss our cut at this stage. If you're getting all of your money back, we expect some interest at some point here. And a danger fee.
If you bring them back to me, we will sort something out. I just need to make sure that I get my money back first. I know I'm badly over a barrel at the moment, but if I live, that's all that matters to me. And the only way I'm going to live is either I run away, and I'm not the outdoors type, or I get them back.
And adventure is part of the pay. We get to have an adventure.
We get to be heroes.
Yes, you would save many lives.
Well, this is my opportunity
we'll
to view
certainly save
adventurers in
yours.
action.
Yes, that's a great way of thinking of it, yes. So, do you have any other questions?
What village is it?
Oh, it's some out of nowhere place. It's just on the edge of the mountains. It's a small village called Luchgobar.
Local bar?
Luchgobar. He again rummages through his pockets and brings out scribble paper.
Town has a local bar.
Well, I'm sure you could get drunk there. Sure. Just please find these creatures.
Luchgobar. Oh.
There may indeed be a local bar in Luchgobar.
Haha.
Well then, I very much want to see these adventurers in action, so I can learn what they need, so I can, set up my shop to properly supply them. So I'm all for you guys heading out. I'll be right
for
behind
any
you.
heroics. Yeah.
Yes, let's go.
There's a small coach that will go there in the morning. I've paid for your travel.
And I'm gonna insist at least me being paid half in advance. You're not selling this job very well, Calvin. Do you have anything collateral?
I'm not the adventurer type. That's my brother, you bastard. He did all the muscles and the girls, and all I got is I'm a bloody accountant.
Not a very good one, apparently.
Can I suggest we take out some sort of insurance policy on Kelvin should he die in our absence, and that would pay out quite nicely?
Well, if he dies in our absence, presumably we can go to... Actually, that's a good idea. Who is the person that has your treasure?
I'm not saying.
Well, then you're not getting the job done, and then you die.
Look, just
that's
go. I
pretty
can't
harsh.
endanger my work anymore.
Well, if the guy's gonna die, I mean, if his life is already at stake, we should probably, I don't know.
Not to be harsh, but I mean, if he doesn't pay us and these things are still magical, if we don't get them back in time, we can always sell them.
Yeah, that was mine. Again, Calvin, if you tell us who the guy that you're going to return the things to, then in the case of your death, we can get the treasury back on your behalf.
He just looks at you and his lip just starts to wobble.
I fully imagine the guild will come after us one way or another. They usually do. We'll get the money regardless, so long as we get the Arthakedians.
Yeah, and I kind of feel bad for this guy.
I mean, look at him. His lip is quivering and everything.
I don't care one way or the other, really, so...
You must have done jobs before for less pay than this. Even less promised pay.
I
But
mean,
usually they can pay up front, so you at least get half payment.
I mean,
This is important, I must take notes.
yeah, here's the thing. Usually the real heroic-seeming jobs aren't done for pay, but because of circumstance. In this case, I want money, so I've picked this job. I'm not doing this for Kelvin.
well, you're a treasurer, right? So, like, usually you'd have money. Do you have, like, anything expensive at home that we could just, I don't know,
Again,
take
collateral.
with us? Yeah, something like that. That way we can help you out.
He looks desperately around and then stuffs his hand in his pocket and pulls out a very old-looking brass watch.
I mean,
Ooh.
if he's holding it out, I'll take it and see if it's still working.
Let's see, does it still work? It's still working. It has a very satisfying tick.
Mind if I take a look at that?
How's its talk, then?
It's a bit old, but its tick is good.
Do you mind if I take a look at it?
Sure, and I hand it over to the dwarf.
Daphne is an expert at tinkering and smithing, and he has like a 3 in each. So I'm wondering if I can roll either of those to kind of determine the watch's value.
Yeah, the watch seems to be of decent value. You open it, it has, and the inscription on the inside, it says, to Kelvin, as a sort of symbol beneath it, and he goes, that's a symbol of my guild, but please don't pursue it further. I need to do this under the radar.
Oh yeah, I understand. Guys, this is a pretty decently nice watch. It will sell for a bit, so we can help him out, right?
I'm just going to look expectantly at Cyril.
And so we'll take a good look at Kelvin, see if he might have anything else on him that could be valuable.
Are you looking for the guy's wedding ring at this stage?
Please pouting a little bit.
I mean, yeah. Alright, if there's a small earring anywhere or a necklace or something.
No, he seems to have no other jewellery.
In that case, Searle will sigh and say, it'll do.
He sort of looks a bit sad to see his watch get put in a pocket, but he seems to at least feel a bit happier that you're taking the job. Is there anything else you want to ask him before you go?
Which direction?
It's in the north.
The coach was ready in the morning, so I'm just going to ask, is food and lodging on your bill?
I suppose, yes.
At that point, Searle will actually smile. Good. And I guess I'll see the rest of you in the morning.
Yeah, it's already nighttime, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Night night.
Oh, right then. Who's for tea? No? Oh,
Oh,
right.
I would like tea.
I'd like tea.
Tea?
Sure.
We should sit Calvin down and have tea. He clearly needs it.
Oh yeah, something really relaxing, like ginger or chamomile.
So there's,
It is not a relaxing tea.
is there any staff
What?
in the back room?
At the moment, no.
We're going to enjoy a nice, comfortable tea before our adventure in the morning.
Okay. Does Kelvin stay around or does he leave? Kelvin very much picks up his stuff and leaves.
Aw.
Actually, since you said that he picks up his stuff and leaves, what was his stuff?
A couple of books and a cloak.
Did I...
Legends, probably.
Was there a title or any other identifying mark on the books?
Nah, they just look like books of numbers.
Okay.
Counting stuff, math stuff. I
That is
wouldn't
what
have
I
been able
count.
to read them anyway.
Are you not literate?
No, I'm just not very good at numbers or reading.
I adore numbers and ledgers and balancing books.
Numbers
That's-
can be fun.
I'm glad you guys have something you like that much then.
Thank you, Dathly. Have some more tea.
Oh, thank you. Don't mind if I do.
So the night is spent sipping away at tea, and the next morning you're all in this coach. It's a very small single-person coach which heads off and just travels up north.
Not very comfortably if it's a single person with all of us in it.
Single driver, empty coach. There's only a couple of letters going with you, nothing else.
Yeah.
As you head towards the mountains, you arrive in the sort of early evening, and you notice that this is the only village for at least several leagues all around. As you arrive in the small town of Luchgobar, you see that there are 5 obvious locations to you. There's the town hall, which is a sort of large building. It looks like it used to be a barn, and then it was converted into a school, and then it was converted from school into a town hall. You know this by the fact that there's a sign with several crossed out previous sort of descriptors of what it was, and then something crude written above it every single time. You see an inn which looks like a sort of half-barrel style door. There looks to be several rooms in it, and it looks relatively cozy, all things considered. You see a town square which has quite a large fountain with several dogs on top of it, and a couple of market stalls next to it. There looks like there's about 3 market stalls and a stables. Next to that you see a walled off house which has got a really badly unkept garden and a single house in the middle of it. And then finally you see a passage leading off into the forest, which seems to be up towards the rest of the mountains. So for your first choice, would you like to go to the town hall, the inn, or the market? Well, the town square.
If someone were to drop off a package, it would probably be at the inn, right? Maybe?
Well,
That's how it goes in the books.
Well, given the fact that what we're looking for are loose living things, I don't think it's going to be that easy, Daphne.
Okay.
But more information probably goes through the inn than anywhere else.
Exactly, and if we are to find this carriage driver anywhere, does the market square seem busy?
Couple people. You're in sort of early evening at this point, so most places they're just beginning to pack up for the night.
In which case, the inn is the most likely place to find a person of interest.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
I'd say so.
Taking notes. In evening, adventurers return to the inn.
Does Penny say when she's taking notes?
Possibly. Sometimes. You know, given that you wouldn't know if I was taking notes if I didn't say what Penny was doing, I sometimes have to say what Penny is doing.
Does Penny refer to herself in third person?
Not usually.
Okay, just so I know.
In any case, Searle will take his belongings off the roof of the carriage, because presumably there's not really room for a halberd inside it, and he will give that people seem unanimous that we're heading to the tavern, to the inn.
For sure.
Alright, so
I want to grab all my stuff too.
Given the size of the halberd, Searle can't really hide that he has a weapon. Does he get any askance glances for being armed in the town?
Nope.
In that case, he will actually strap his sword to his belt before going inside the inn.
Alright, when the cart arrives in, it is taken by a youngish boy of about, say boy, most people in the village are dwarves. A sort of youngish dwarf of around, looks like very early ages, like sort of teenage for a dwarf. And they take it into this quite nice looking stables. As you all leave this place and you head towards the inn, you walk inside. The barman that's obviously standing on a box, and in the corner there looks like there's some sort of bard who looks human, who is restringing his lute.
The majority of the population here are dwarves, but the bar is still human-sized?
Yep.
So that the dwarven bartender has to stand on a box?
Yep. Well, he doesn't have to stand on a box, he seems to just be standing on a box.
Okay.
The counter is human-sized. I wonder if this place was originally built by humans and then, I don't know, settled by dwarves. It happens a lot.
Does it?
I mean, in smaller places, probably.
Well, it probably happened here, whether it happens a lot or not.
I mean, I'm a dwarf. You should just take my word for it. Come on.
Sure. So we'll set his pack down by the entrance or wherever there seems to be less foot traffic and go to the bartender or innkeep or whichever noun we prefer.
As you walk up, the barman sort of turns to look at you and goes, "Oh, visitors! Great!" He sort of jumps down from his box and he seems to run off somewhere and he comes back and like vastly trying to tie an apron around himself. He jumps back on top of his box. "Hello there, right, what can I get you?"
Right, that's actually quite promising. We're looking for, presumably, the last new arrival.
Is this some kind of drink you're after?
A carriage driver is all we know. No name, sadly.
Oh, you mean the one Maud's looking after?
Potentially.
As far as I'm aware, he's in
Sure.
Maud's hut.
Looking after, is someone hurt?
Well, he, kind of fell off a mountain.
What?
Aye, strange
Pretty
thing.
far to
He sort
fall.
of like, the cart kind of went forward, and the path was then that way, but he didn't. He went straight off. Killed both the horses.
That's not good.
That's not good at all.
No, he had some weird, like, marks on him as well, but, Maud said he needed healed up, and we put him off to her hut.
Anyone else heard about any other weird happenings around town since then?
You'd be best speak to Daddy.
Daddy.
Aye.
See your dad?
What? No.
Well, you called him Daddy.
Aye.
Is this something like your town being called local bar, but not actually being a local bar?
He just looks at you really confused, going, what?
You know, it's like local bar.
I think this is just one of the things we're gonna have to accept.
Yeah, where's Daddy?
Oh, well. At this time of night, Daddy's out looking after his sheep.
Aw,
his
Daddy
goats.
has sheep.
Well, he has goats now. He used to have sheep. He's got goats now.
What happened to his sheep?
Well, you know, on a mountainside, they tend to sort of plummet.
Oh, that's so
No.
sad.
I expect goats would be a better investment on a mountain.
Goats like rocks more, aye. Sheep aren't the best climbers.
Well, we should probably get something since he was so helpful, right? Like, I don't know, a drink, maybe some more yummy tea.
What do you serve here?
What?
What can we buy from you?
What's on the menu?
He sort of looks around like he's really not used to being asked. Water?
Water's
You only
good.
have water at a...
He sort of
bar?
looks around again, like he's just really not sure. He's looking at bottles behind the bar, going like, now, when I took this bar over about, 15 years ago, no one's asked for any of these bottles, so I don't know what's in any of them. But if you want one of them, you can have it.
Are there any labels?
He sort of looks them over, and they've all got some sort of very crude, carving into the edge of each of them. I don't read that, so I don't know.
The bottles are carved.
No, they've got this carving on them, and he puts his finger
Oh.
and runs his finger over it. It's like engraved in the glass.
I don't think any of our characters read Braille.
Or
Well,
are brave enough to drink the mystery drink.
I mean, Sir will give one of the bottles a sniff.
All right, well, you want the black one, the red one, the green one, or the clear one?
I'll smell the clear one.
Right, you are. He gets
Can
a
I
small
get that
step ladder and
green
climbs
one?
up.
Can I get that green one?
All right, hang on. And he gets the two bottles down, just hands you them, and goes, oh, right, I meant to charge you. I don't know what I'm doing, because I've never really had to charge anyone, because we work in a sort of, I work for you, work for this, work for that. So,
Well,
if you can give me something, you can have them.
I could give you a glowing review.
I go over to my pack and take out one of my bottles of water and say, if I drink any of this, shaking his clear bottle, I'll give you some of this, shaking my clear bottle.
Oh, ain't explosive, is it?
Oh no.
We had that problem before. Some bastard knocked the glass over and it sent fire to the bar. So we don't have that bit. And he points over a corner where it looks badly singed all around.
Now, was that something that person brought, or was that something that was
Oh, that
already...
was Jack's fault.
Right, I'm not really asking about whose fault it was, I'm asking whether the liquid was already...
Oh, we don't
in the
know with
bar.
Jack. Very, very strange boy is Jack. He's not been the same since, first Whacking Festival.
Sure.
Whacking festival.
Aye.
Let's leave the Whacking Festival for a bit. I'm asking whether this drink will set things on fire.
Well, I don't know. Don't light it in my bar. Take it outside if you're gonna do that.
Okay, so I'm gonna maybe check this out. So can I roll my alchemy to see if this is okay?
Alright, roll. You sniff it, you put a drop onto your finger and roll it between your fingers. It's definitely some sort of very, very cheap white spirit.
This one's just a spirit, guys.
So-
What
Well, you can.
colors were there of the drinks?
Well, mine is green.
There's still a black and red one.
I'd like to try the black one, please.
Alright.
I will
He goes
smell...
up, gets the black one and brings it down for you.
And I'd also like to check it out with my alchemy.
Yep, you sniff it, put it in your fingers, and daringly taste a little bit. It tastes like licorice water.
Guys, this is licorice water.
That sounds disgusting.
We can mix the spirits in the licorice water and take shots.
Shot! Shot! Shot!
I mean, Searle, lacking any alchemical knowledge or training, will just smell his clear spirit.
I can help you with that, buddy, if you like.
I, Tauno, the player, will let you help me once Pupzki tells me what the smell is.
It smells weird, kind of flammable.
Right. Sure, Deathly. I think you better check this out.
Let's take a look.
And just on the side, what does flammable smell like?
Like
don't know,
you can
don't
set
ask.
fire to it.
Natural 20, it's definitely rubbing alcohol.
Oh, this is just rubbing alcohol. Please don't drink it.
It does seem like you just left a bar. I'm sorry, I don't
You
think
know,
we
there
got
was
your
an
name.
accident.
I don't think we got your name. Sir Barkeep.
What? Oh, I'm
Your
Reese.
name.
Reese.
Reese. Well, thanks, Reese. I mean, the rubbing alcohol can come in handy for other things, like cleaning.
You what? You don't pour that liquid on things, do you?
Well, it's rubbing alcohol. You rub it.
You don't rub the alcohol. You rub it with the
Not
alcohol.
exactly. Yeah, that's what I meant. Thanks.
He just gives you a strange look and then sort of shrugs and goes, alright, fair enough.
Well, are we going to pay Reese for his bottles?
Well,
Oh, I've been scribbling out a review of like very kind things about how friendly he is on a piece of paper, and I'm just going to like hand it to him. Like,
What's this then?
This is a review of how lovely you are. You can give this to somebody to publish, and then you will get more customers.
What?
I'm paying you an exposure.
Oh God.
So I give this to other people and then they come to the bar.
Yes.
yeah, because you're so friendly and nice.
But everyone here comes to the bar anyway.
Oh, you give this to other people.
New people.
I
People
don't
who
know
travel
any other
through.
people.
How about I pay you in a hug?
He sort of looks you up and down, and then he sort of tilts his head slightly, and he gently like bites his top lip with his lower teeth. A very strange look.
You don't want a hug.
One sec. Patrick, and the bard that's sitting by the fire turns around and goes, yeah. He goes, you told me to bite my lip when you like someone. Why is it not working? Did you bite your top lip or your bottom lip? What? Well, you're making that face. No wonder they're not interested. Who lied to me, Patrick?
No, you're supposed to bite your bottom lip. But I'm actually I got a sweetheart waiting back home. I can't I was just offering hugs.
At this point, the barman is like completely purple in the face.
Oh no, don't be embarrassed. Come here, buddy. And I kind of just reach over and give him like a weird hug over the bar.
It's about as awkward as you'd expect.
Oh no. Daphne's completely red. Just completely. Head to toe.
How are those notes of yours coming, Penny? Is this helping at all?
I don't know that this is helping at all. Like, the lack of exchange of money is very confusing to me. I do, however, perhaps, like, maybe I have a vial of antitoxin I could offer, and you can put that on the bar instead of these bottles. And I could give one of my
A vial of
bottles
what?
of antitoxin. It's a special medicine if somebody gets sick in the pub.
Oh, I got a mod if that happens. Cure me of any rash. If you told me I'm not asleep with anyone that comes to the village anymore.
Daphne's turning even redder.
I meant more for things like upset stomachs that happened immediately.
Oh, you mean Ethel's cooking?
Yes.
Alright, maybe
I
we
think
shouldn't
that's what
request dinner here.
Yeah, maybe we should go check out this guy that Maud's keeping in her house. Daphne's just looking for an excuse to step away from this guy a little bit.
Well, we're outside. It's the one over there with the garden that looks like it's keeping itself.
Oh, the big house. Okay.
Well, it's normal size house. It's just the grass is about as high as me. We asked her before if we could cut it for her, and she told us, and I quote, "You get your grubbing hands off my grass." So apparently she don't care about no overgrown grass, but the rest of the village thinks it looks a bit untidy.
Maybe she uses it.
Oh no, you go inside her hut, it's immaculate as anything. She just don't seem to like her outside. Don't like gardening.
Could we go, guys?
Yeah, thanks for the help.
Thank you.
You can end your time slot there and go somewhere else if you want.
Before we end the time slot, I actually want to speak to the bard at all.
Probably. I mean, given that tiny bit of conversation they had, the bard seemed to be the more knowledgeable of the two.
I think his name was Patrick.
Has he been keeping up with the conversation? Been following along?
He sort of turned to talk to Reese, but then when Reese started going purple, he just turned back to the fire and continued stringing his slit.
Does anyone follow along with Searle if Searle goes over and approaches Patrick?
I'll go.
Yeah.
As long as it's a little ways away from the bartender, who Deathly is feeling uncomfortable with.
You're Patrick, I take it.
Aye, who are you?
I am Searle, and this is, and, you know, indicating my compatriots, which is, I think at this point is everyone but Penny.
Penny is
See,
kind of lingering at the bar, you know, kind of putting herself between Daphne and Reese.
Well, you here for a song?
Not necessarily a song, but we would love to hear your voice. Specifically, do you know where we might find another new arrival? Carriage driver?
Oh, I'm not new. I've been here for a long time.
I know it's
I
not...
might not look like everyone else, but I was raised here.
I didn't assume you were from outside of town. I'm asking if you know where this person that I'm referring to would be.
I don't really know what you're asking. Have you spoke with Daddy?
I have not spoken to Daddy.
Alright, well, Daddy knows best. Speak to him.
So, this daddy guy sounds really important.
Oh, yes. He's one of the elders. Looks after the goats.
Because he no longer has sheep.
Aye.
Who are the other elders then?
Well, there's only really Daddy and Aris now. Aris is getting on a bit, though.
Aris is
Don't think
getting
he'll
on
be
a
able to
bit.
do the job in the next few years. He's getting a little bit, gone in the head.
Oh,
So Daddy's out with the ghost.
Oh, aye. Spends all his time out with them goats. Only comes in here at night to eat and have a few hours kept, and then he goes back out again.
oh, so he comes here at night.
Aye. I mean, where else
So-
is there to eat?
Well,
We don't know. We're new.
I was writing a song about, welcome to the village, but no one really comes here anymore, so didn't really see the point in that. And I got told last time I wrote a song that I wasn't allowed to sing it anymore, so...
Who would tell you that, Patrick?
Well, I started singing about how we used to hang people and no one liked it. But it's true, it's part of our village history.
what were you hanging people for?
Oh, it was some misdemeanor when, there was the big dwarf human war or something like that. I don't really know, I read it in some book.
Wait, so there was a dwarf human war. Are you the only human who lives here?
Oh no, this is a few hundred years ago.
So I'm just gonna
Recent.
ask if I can make a lore roll to see if there actually was a dwarf-human war, or if he's just talking about like a feud in this village.
Yep, roll. You can only go on what he's talking about. You don't know anything of any dwarf-human war anywhere nearby, but he seems to be adamant that there was a small dwarf-human conflict.
So, I guess I wanted to ask Patrick, have you seen any, small furry creatures?
Oh, you don't mean the rats, do you? They're not back. Reese.
No.
Someone's saying the rats are back, Reese.
No, Reese, the rats aren't back.
You just see a
I mean-
dwarf scurrying out from the bar, carrying what looks like a bag of powder, pouring it into the corners of the room.
No, we don't. The rats aren't back. I'm just talking they look more like bunnies, but the size of dogs.
Oh, don't tell Reese that. He'll start ranting about the squirrels again.
Wait, Reese saw squirrels.
Oh no, but about 40 years ago, we had a big rat problem. And we took a long time to get them rats out of town, because you can't just dehouse a rat. He'll keep coming back, and if he finds another rat, that's 8 more rats you gotta deal with. And then they kept coming back and invading our land, and we invaded their land, and then we got dogs, and the dogs chased the rats away, and the rats ate the dogs.
Okay, but what were you saying about Reese and the squirrels?
Right, Reese believes, right, that the only reason we won this war with them rats is because we won at winter time. And if we hadn't won at winter time, Reese believes the squirrels would have helped the rats win. But don't start him on it. We're here all night, and I don't want to listen to it again.
I don't understand what is going on. Oh my gosh.
In an
I
aside,
don't understand
away
it,
from
but I want to know more.
Dathly and Patrick, Searle will say, I don't think there was a dwarf-human war either. If this is what constitutes a war to him.
So,
Maybe it's
how
something
big
conspiracy.
were the squirrels?
No,
Squirrels are
don't.
normal size, but the
No.
rats, they were big bastards.
I'm being told I shouldn't have asked you that.
Oh, I wrote a song
Anyway.
about it. I wrote a song about the rats. It was about how the blood was running down the walls,
wait,
and all
no.
his limbs were everywhere, and these dead dogs, and there's all blood everywhere, but people don't like me singing.
How big were the rats?
Well, I don't know. Big. I was quite young at the time.
I kind of want to hear this song.
Don't wanna. I'm so scared of the song. I think Dathly's getting uncomfortable with this guy too, so Dathly's gonna go stand by the door.
Alright, team, I think we either wait here for Daddy to come back, or we go see Maud, was that her name?
Maud, yeah, Maud.
Go see Maud, who's apparently taking care of our only contact. Daddy has information about the creatures and wait for him, or we bet on the carriage driver knowing a bit more about where they might have gone.
So, how long do we have until night falls?
Basically, whenever you decide to finish this slot, we'll go into the nighttime slot. Your choices are staying in the inn or going to Maud's hut. There's not really much going on anywhere else.
I'll go back to the bar and ask Reese, who is more accommodating between Maud and Daddy?
Well, it depends if you got a small condition or anything. Because if you got some problem, down there, then Maud's really good. Although she does tut at you a lot and, you feel really cheap.
What?
He's saying we're cheap.
No, moving on from that. That's not what he's saying. Moving on from that.
If you had to choose, Reese, Daddy or Maud?
This ain't one of them marry-kill scenarios, is it?
No.
I think you need a third option for that.
It's just, you can choose one to talk to and then not talk to the other one for one night.
Oh, well, I don't really talk to Maud outside, the bitching. So I suppose Daddy.
Who'd believe you most about the squirrels?
Oh, those bastard squirrels. Right, I'm gonna tell this. Have you been telling them about my bastard squirrels? Those bastards. They're burying nuts in me bastard and roof. You know how much water came in last year, the bastards.
No, we're asking about if you were to tell one a story, who would be more likely to listen to you?
Oh, well, Maud's and all that edology stuff, so I'd probably say Daddy.
We should probably go with the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
That was my assumption as well. So,
Is there any other time we can see Daddy, apart from night at the inn?
Well,
Reese,
he's
where does
always out in
Daddy
his
hang
field.
During the day. Thank
Well,
you. Reese.
usually, yeah, he's out with his goats. Unless Jack's looking after him.
I vote for the actual lead of the guy who is being looked after by Maud.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I vote Maud.
so do I.
I vote on.
Yep.
Before we go, Reese, I've been told that this is the one place you can go to get food, so can we get something to go?
Oh, I suppose so, aye. What are you after?
I think I'd rather know what you've got.
I'll have a look. He wanders off. In about 5 minutes he comes back and he goes, I think there's soup.
You think there's soup?
Well, it's sort of green liquid, and it's
What's-
got lumps in it.
What's the alternative? It's not soup.
One sec. Patrick, you seen Ethel? No. Alright,
Oh,
well,
It's
I don't
Ethel's
really know what it
cooking.
is. It's in the cauldron in the kitchen. Don't really know what's in it, but Ethel made it earlier today.
And you said Ethel's cooking makes you sick, yeah?
Oh, no, not usually, but there's been the odd time, especially when she tried that experimental phase of hers when she was cooking that weird cactus stuff.
You could cacti here.
No, she bought it from Grunnins.
Who's Grunnins?
He's the tiefling lad in the market.
Okay, tiefling in the market, Grunnins. Is he from out of town?
Well, he travels between a couple of villages every sort of few weeks. He comes back, he's here at the moment. You think he's due to leave in the next few days?
Okay, we might want to ask him if he's seen anything, if we have a second later. I'm getting the feeling outsiders make a little more sense.
Well, we've had this small community for a long time.
Oh, I didn't mean for you to hear that. Oh no.
Adventurers, to Maud's!
To Mods.
Two boards.
To Mods.
So, you leave the inn, and you walk your way towards this small hut. As soon as you walk past the small wall, you realise that the grass is indeed overflowing to the point that you didn't realise it was just normal grass that was literally as tall as a dwarf. And as you walk along the very sort of slapdash path leading up to the doorway, it's almost like you're walking through a hedge maze. And as you arrive at the door and knock on it, you hear a slightly exasperated voice in there say, "Oh, who is it now?"
We are strangers to your town.
Has Reese given you the clap?
No.
Good.
Though not for lack of trying.
She opens the door and you see a slightly past middle-aged female woman. She looks down and she goes, "Right, so what is it?"
We were told you've been caring for another stranger to your town who got hurt. Carriage accident.
Oh, him. Yeah, what do you want for him?
We've been sent to gather something that was lost on said carriage.
I see. And have you been out to the forest?
No. Is that where he was found or came from?
Well, that's where the crash site is, yeah.
Right.
Fine, I
Well-
want to speak to him. You won't get much sense out of him, but sure. And she just invites you in, closes the door behind you, takes you through, and you see one room off to the side where there's a man under a blanket shivering quite violently.
Does he look like he could write a letter?
No, he didn't write anything. The only thing we could find was when we checked over his stuff, we found these letters where he was meant to go. That's why we mailed this Kelvin fella.
Right.
You won't get much sense out of him, but look, they sort of gestures to the guy on the slab, and she sort of pulls back the blanket a little bit, and you notice he's got this massive bite mark on the back of his arm. He goes, not sure what did that, but something did.
It's a massive bite mark on the back of his arm.
Aye.
But is there a chunk missing?
Is there a what?
A chunk missing. I mean, I'm asking, I'm looking at the arm. Is there anything missing, or is it just a mark of a bite?
That was through this, and she sort of rummages through a box and pulls out a massive, like, heavy leather overcoat. I mean, look at that elbow, and she points to the elbow of it that's, like, got huge, like, teeth marks all the way through it.
Can I roll nature to see if I can tell what did it?
Yep.
No.
It just looks like something with lots of teeth. Lots of
Okay,
very
then.
sharp teeth.
Oh, have you ever heard of anything called Atharaka? Someone help me read this out. What was it again? I can't read.
Atharacadian.
Yeah, have you ever heard of those?
Yes, why? What do you know about them?
We've been sent to get 2 of them.
Apparently, that's what he was transporting.
Who would... Why?
A guy
Wait,
named Kelvin.
What?
Bad business deals
somebody,
and get...
somebody wants to keep those things
We
in
have
that
no idea.
city. Are they mad?
Apparently, Calvin got drunk, spent work money on the 2 of them. When he got sober, he tried to get his money back, but was told, get me the things back first. And now the carriage crashed, so we've been sent to get them so Calvin can get his money back.
So you're
This guy was
telling me
transporting them.
you're
So they're
telling
kind
me
of just running around your forests. Yeah.
2 of them... Wait.
2 of them are on the
Are
loose,
there
yes.
2 of them? Or are there 2 of them?
I know what you mean.
Are they a breeding pair?
See, I
Oh, that
would've-
could be bad.
The fact that they can change shape, do they need specifically to be a breeding pair, or can any pair be a pair?
Well, any pair I suppose, but they wouldn't have the internal anatomy to be able to, you know...
Well, they can change that, can't they?
It's not known about that, but they are highly magical, I suppose.
In either case, is there anything around these parts that could cause such a bite?
Nothing natural, but now you've mentioned these creatures, that does look
Well, I'm
like it.
I'm simply just trying to ascertain whether we might run into something else that might be that threatening, or if anything that threatening would certainly be what we're looking for.
I think anything that could do this kind of bite would be very dangerous.
That's what I think as well. So what I'm asking, is there a manticore about? Or would any manticore we saw for certain be these shape changes?
I don't think you'd see a manticore around here.
Good.
Specifically, a manticore.
All right, great. No manticores.
I mean, hypothetically.
There are no known beasties in the area.
So any presumed beastie could be the shape changer.
I mean, there's bears, but these aren't marks of bears.
There are
True.
bears. Okay.
Bears are pretty cute.
Bears are pretty dangerous.
And there's mountain rats, of course.
I'm sorry, what is the difference between a mountain rat and a regular rat?
You get more fur for a mountain rat.
And apparently
Wait,
they kill
so-
dogs.
What you're saying is that the crazy guys at the bar who thought you had a war with the rats, you guys actually had a war with rats?
No,
She just said they have furry rats,
what
not giant
happened?
rats.
I came here about 10 years ago. When I came here, they were celebrating the 25th anniversary of chasing the mice out of the village.
The mice.
I don't know why they chased the mice out of the village. I don't know what caused them to want to celebrate chasing the mice out of the village. All I know is they put that poor boy in a rat costume and beat him with sticks.
Is that the whacking festival they were talking about?
Yes. At least now, even though they convinced that poor boy to go through with it every year, at least now he gets a helmet and a sort of cup. He didn't the first year.
It's Jack every year.
Well, after the first year, I'm surprised they kept him still in it. I mean, I turned up just after it and he was in a terrible state. He had several brain fractures. But, you know,
Again,
he healed up over the next year and he was semi-fine and the next year and they went, oh, go on, Jack, you'll do it again, won't you? And I told them no, leave the poor boy alone, but apparently he agreed without my counsel. I insisted he wore a helmet and at least got a cup so I didn't have to loosen his testicles, as it were. So, yes,
God.
despite the fact the boy talks with a permanent lisp now and has several degrees of brain damage, they still convince him every year to dress up like that bastard mouse.
The brain damage might make the convincing easier.
Well,
Not to be judgmental, but I don't like this town.
for the most part, they're fine. They're just idiots.
What's the thing about the squirrels? Why are there squirrels involved?
Oh, don't start them. They think for some reason that because the mice were mice, that other rodents might join them, and... Oh, don't start me. The only reason I'm here is because my sister's nearby.
Who's your sister?
Well, my sister's June, obviously. She lives up in the mountains.
How would it be obvious that your sister's June?
Why wouldn't it be?
Because we've just met you, and we know nothing about you except that you live here and that you know medicine.
How do you know I
For
do
Met
medicine?
June.
Because you're taking care of the hurt carriage driver, and you've been taking care of Jack every time he gets hurt.
And Reese told us that you cure his STIs.
And you told us that he apparently still has the clap.
The number of people he's given it to over the years. I don't know where he's getting it from.
He says he tries to sleep with everyone who comes through town.
That would be about right, aye.
He tried to sleep with me, I think.
What do you mean, you think?
I don't know. He did a weird thing with his teeth.
Oh, God.
At Patrick's insistence, I might add.
He's a bad influence on that boy.
I
They
just
don't
wanted
seem-
a hug.
Not Patrick and always a bad influence in heaven. Keep writing those bastard songs about death and decay and sorrow, and then he wonders why nobody likes them.
Quick question about Patrick then. He mentioned a human-dwarf war. Now, we have never heard of a human-dwarf race war.
He found a storybook, he thinks it's real.
Okay, so just to get that clear, it's a storybook, not a history book that he found.
Do you know how hard it is to teach these villagers fiction?
I can
We had a
tell.
travelling playthrough about 5 years ago. They still believe that the prince's father died and his mother remarried his brother. They think that's real. Do you know how hard it is to live with people who think it's real?
Think that Hamlet is real?
I was trying to avoid it being an actual play, but yes. But do you know how hard it is whenever we have a travelling group through who sing songs or do a play? They all think it's natural history. They think people are coming to educate them. We had one coming that had a man dressed like a giant parrot. They thought that was a new race of people.
So, this is just a comment, but they seem very receptive to actual education here.
Oh, they're very happy. Anyone that wants to tell them things, they're very happy to learn. If you told them
What?
tomorrow that, which I sadly am probably going to have to now with these creatures running around, that small, giant, furry-eared creatures that can shapeshift into anything are loose in the village and can in fact eat them, they will believe me, unfortunately.
You seem to know a bit more about these creatures than we do. So again, does it matter that we know what their true form is? Since again, their shape changes, is there a reason they would return to their true form?
For breeding, probably?
Do they have any
Well,
tells
the biggest
when they are
problem is they
shapeshifted?
can't run as a shapeshift. They have to convert back to their own form or they look quite odd.
Right.
They can't run.
They can't
In
run
motion.
shapeshift, no.
Motion.
So in motion, they betray the fact that they have changed their shape.
Aye.
Good
So-
to know.
What we should do is we should chase everyone around town and see who runs weird. Except for that kid Jack, he might just run weird because of the brain damage.
Well,
But you
given the
probably
fact
wouldn't turn into a furry nightmare creature.
Hopefully not.
Not recently, anyway. Madam Maud, one question. Is there anything particularly valuable about your grass?
No, just don't like them touching it.
I think it's very cool.
I
Very.
mean, sort of gestures around her house and you see everything inside is completely immaculate and everything's got a place. And she's just like, in here, everything I have looks fine. Out there, I don't care. They can come up to me and say, oh, we're going for the best village, mountain town, can you cut the grass? No, it's my grass. Leave it alone.
What, have they ever told you it would be for the greater good that you should cut it?
Nope. They did once tell me that they heard that, beanstalks might grow in it. Told them that was a lie. They didn't believe me either. They wanted to make sure there were no beanstalks growing in my grass. Told them to go away.
Question, Miss Maud. do you think it would be good to tell people that there are shapeshifters running around that can eat them? I mean, you said they'd believe us, but I just don't want to cause, like, a mass panic, and you know these people better than we do.
Well, the question if it would cause a mass panic. I suppose it would. I suppose we should at least tell Harris and Daddy.
And Daddy's pretty reasonable? Or is he,
He's what I would call the sensible one of all of them, yes.
Ah.
So Daddy is always right.
Although, don't let anyone get into the ear of Harris, because he will start believing anything you say, and then he will snake a town meeting about it, and then all of them will follow like sheep, and then we have to explain to people why the village believes what it does, and oh god, not again.
So we probably shouldn't tell Harris, but we should tell Daddy.
I think they both should know, but I think Daddy should be there when we tell Harris. Otherwise, what would Harris do? What's the stupidest thing someone would do? Oh, I know what Harris would do. He'd issue everyone a mirror to put in front of any object they could find to see if it was breathing.
He sounds funny.
You try living with him as your elder. Believe me, the amusement wears off rather quickly.
Has our carriage driver companion been making any, like, motion, mumbling,
He's been
mutterings
sort of-
while we've been here?
Shuddering and sort of shaking and occasionally mumbling something. As you look down at him, he goes, furry, bite. And the mod just looks at him and goes, yeah, he's got a fever alright from that bite. It's alright though, we're keeping him, docile. Hopefully the next few days he'll be quiet enough we can wake him up proper.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for the help.
Thank you.
Been most helpful.
So, I imagine at this point you're going to go back to the inn and rest for the night? Or are you wanting just to go straight into morning?
Well, it was that, or investigate the spooky forest crash site in the dark.
I mean, if we play out going back to the inn, we might be able to catch Daddy.
Maybe, possibly, if we don't catch him at night, we could catch him leaving in the morning.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So, you go back to the inn overnight. The next time is morning, so your choice is the town hall. You can stay in the inn. You can go to the sort of town square market area, and then you can go to the forest. Where would you like to go?
Do we have any sight of Daddy?
When you got there, it seemed that he wasn't there. He must have been away sleeping somewhere, and then when you got up, he'd already left. He's probably out in the field in the forest.
That is the next clue.
Well, Daddy is, like, in the fields which are by the forest, and the forest is where the crash site is. I imagine the town hall would be where Harris is, just from his personality. And I doubt there's anybody new in the inn.
Yeah.
It would
I
be
say-
the town square or it would be the forest, and I would probably say for the forest.
I would also say forest, yes.
Forest.
We know of the tiefling in the square, but I don't see how that person would be helpful for our job.
Unless he's secretly already caught the things and shipped them off elsewhere. But yeah, other than that.
So you go into the forest then?
Yeah.
Alright. So you make your way out and along the quite peaceful trail leading up out to the forest. Eventually you come out of the trees to quite a wide open space. In front of you there is a quite large, like, crumpled wooden heap. It looked like almost like a caravan that's fallen off the road directly above, and it looks like it was a sheer drop of maybe about 20-25 meters. To the left of the caravan seems to be a field full of the occasional goat, and there seems to be a man standing there with a shepherd's crook and a sort of youngish looking boy next to him, maybe about 17 to 20 kind of age.
Okay, and again, Maud said she got here 12 years ago and they were using Jack then. So yeah, if you needed to dislike the village even more.
I just want to keep an eye on the goats and see if any of them, like, when they move, if they're moving weirdly, like how Maud told us might happen.
So you're on movement duty.
I guess, yeah.
Of course, the follow-up question is, are there any goats that don't move?
Yeah.
For the most part, the goats are just sort of standing around eating, and some of them are lying down, but most of them are sort of quite active.
And none of them look all that weird.
As weird as some goats look, yeah.
Fits in with this town.
Trish,
Yes.
well, I have an idea, but the blacksmith always told me that I should probably ask people before I do my ideas.
Please don't
Should
ask me
I
questions.
chase the goats around?
Don't ask me questions. Please don't.
Okay.
I think the shepherd might be somewhat concerned if you cause damages to his assets.
I just wanted to chase them around a bit. But,
Well-
that's why I asked beforehand.
At this point, you see the youngish man run after one of the ghosts and chase it himself.
He's got the right idea.
Just looking at the wreckage, can we see what the shapeshifters were contained in?
It just seems like a heap of like wooden splinters and debris. As you get close to it, you hear sort of, "Hey up, you new here?"
Yes.
Hey. The shepherd sort of climbs his way over the fence. It's quite an older looking dwarf. He just looks like basically you'd expect from a sort of very broad-shouldered shepherd. Walks his way over and goes, "So, you know anything about this?"
Well, yes, sir. There has been a catastrophic accident here and the loss of several hundred gold worth of property that we are here to investigate.
Really?
Oh,
Well, the only things of value we found in this caravan, as it were those books that Ethel made me agree could be taken to the schoolhouse.
Maud told us to tell you. Should we tell him? Can I tell him?
Sure.
we know who him is yet?
Are you Daddy?
Aye, I'm Daddy. Why?
Okay, well, if you're Daddy, we're supposed to tell you these things. Oh gosh, guys, what are they called again?
Arthuracade. I can't say it.
Authoricadian.
Thanks, Penny. So, Authoricadian. Basically, they're these fuzzy shapeshifters that like to eat people. So, they were actually being transported on this guy's cart, and now they're loose in your forest.
And Maud knew this. How?
Oh, Maud didn't know this. We know this. We've been sent to look for them, and we went to talk to her, and she said the bites on the guy fit the Authoricadian that we're looking for.
Right, so what do we do about it?
I don't know.
So, what you're telling me is we've basically got some sort of vicious sheep.
No, it's not like a sheep. It's like...
It's fluffy,
can be.
bites things, it's like a vicious sheep.
It has big ears.
It's like a buddy.
But it's like a dog. It's like a dog bunny.
It's like a dog bunny. Yeah, but also it can look like anything. But also, it can't run.
Do you mean like Fitz here? He whistles and this small, kind of like black and white collie style dog, but slightly bigger, just comes running under the fence towards him and stands next to him like, really excitedly. Do you mean like Fitz here?
It
Yeah,
fits
but
run
he's not
regularly.
running. Can he run?
Oh, hey, he can run now. Chases Jack a lot.
Just so you know why we're here, Daddy. These creatures, quadrupedal, furry, big ears, size of a dog, vicious bites, capable of changing their shape, but when shape change, they typically stand still because movement makes it clear that that is not their native shape. Loose in the forest, presumably, if they have not run elsewhere. So again, if one of your sheep or your dog stands very still, don't go near it. You see,
Well,
it might be dangerous.
The thing about goats is they do tend to stand still sometimes.
Yeah, I can understand, but
If you chase it around and it doesn't run away from you, then it might be a theropapa.
Chasing it might be a bad idea.
I'll get
'Cause
Jack.
then it might
I'll
kill.
tell Jack as well. Jack! And this sort of, now you see his face, he looks slightly older, like maybe early mid-20s, but he does kind of have that very boyish look, but he's got a slight, like one of his eyes is slightly closed, and he's just like, aye? Right, Jack, these people say if we chase one of the sheep or goats and they don't run, they might be dangerous. What is that?
It'll
Well,
eat you.
Jack, it might be dangerous, might actually not be a sheep.
Alright, okay.
Aye, so just be a wee bit careful, right?
Okay, Daddy.
Right, and
Who are
also
you?
would help find them. I should probably go to Harris about this. Is there anything we need to do about it? You know, you wave fire at them or something, like wolves.
We don't really know if they have a weakness or anything.
to be fair, most things die when stabbed. Enough.
Hang on a second, are we meant to bring these alive?
I think so.
Was that clarified in our contract?
I don't think so. I don't think there would be a court of law that would deny us our payment if we killed them.
But
And Kelvin did not provide us the means to transport them alive.
yeah, but
We were told to bring them back. Nothing more than that.
okay, but guys, Kelvin might get killed if the guy doesn't want his money back for doesn't want
Then
the
he
things
should have
back.
had insurance for damage in transit. Any good merchant knows this. Any treasurer should know this.
But we can't just let a guy die.
I fail to see how this is our responsibility.
Exactly.
We are paid for the job of transporting the Atharacadians, not for saving Kelvin's life. Those are two separate jobs.
And if Kelvin is willing to pay for intimidation work, we might be able to ensure he gets his money back, even with damaged goods.
Being a hero is way less heroic than I thought it would be.
Again, the heroic stuff is not usually the jobs you take, but the jobs that take you.
That's
I
poetic.
guess.
I try sometimes.
Well,
We took a job to get these goods back to Kelvin. Now that's what we chose to do. Now if the Atharacadians attack Luchgobar and we stop them, then that will be them taking action that we respond to, and that will be likely more heroic.
okay.
If they just stand still when transformed, if we can locate them, I imagine we could just drop a bag over their heads and snatch them that way.
Well, Maud said that they changed shape to breed, right?
Back to their original form.
And she said maybe.
She said maybe?
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking, what if we just, set up some mood lighting? Waited for them to come around, kind of, like some
dinner?
candles and stuff. Then maybe they'd change back and we could just put a net on them.
Excuse me, Daddy.
Aye.
Are you missing any of your livestock?
One or two goats, aye, but, they sometimes just go wandering, so one or two is... Although it's a slight problem, is usually they come back in a few days, but I do wonder who cleared away the dead horses, because there were 2 dead horses here for at least 2 days, but don't seem to be here anymore.
Concerning.
Right.
Okay.
So, what we can say is that they went for the easy prey first, but they waited a while to check that it was safe. Sort of.
We could... Oh no, that's a bad idea. That makes me sick to my stomach.
Wait.
Yeah,
Bait.
but we'd have to kill something. That would be so sad.
We would have to purchase a thing to take to the butcher. The killing would not necessarily have to be done with us, although just for the sake of convenience, I would suggest that Cyril could probably manage it.
I mean, we're in the woods. It's not that hard to go hunting.
I have a bow. Daddy, is there any game in the woods?
There's not that much anymore. There used to be quite a lot of deer, but this time of season, you don't see them. There's the odd bear, I guess.
I do not think bears count as game, but thank you for the warning.
Depends how daring you are.
It would be pretty heroic to kill a bear, I think.
Why?
I don't know, because they're big. It'd be impressive. I mean, if I came back home saying, hey, I killed a bear.
I've always
did.
wanted to see a bear.
They did eat 2 horses in a night, so presumably their appetite is of the scale of bear rather than goat, because they'd have to catch the flock of goat. And flocks of goat may be spread out over many miles, so that would take energy. So perhaps the goats are actually safe and we should be looking for bear. If we're following the bait plan.
I can try and track down an animal, hunt it, and use that as bait.
Is there any kind of crate or cage from the wreckage which is at all salvageable? Can somebody who has better tinkering and engineering skills than I do look at the crate?
Tinkering?
Roll awareness, anyone who wants to look.
I don't have that.
Oh, I have good awareness.
So Penny definitely notices amongst some of the more singed looking rubble, there's a small cage that looks like it was about maybe half a metre by half a metre by half a metre. And it looks like the bars were made of something kind of like steel, but they look like they've got some kind of enchantment on them.
Apart from being open, is it still in working order?
The bars are intact, the wood that's on the top and bottom is completely splintered.
Dathly, is this salvageable?
You take a look
You
at
fix
it.
this.
I have tinkering and smithing, so should I roll tinkering or smithing? I mean, they're the same.
For this roll, smithing.
Okay.
Typically the rule for it is that if it's still, like armour or weapons, it's smithing. If it's moving, like anything clockworky or that kind of style, it's tinkering.
Okay, cool.
Yep, you can manage to salvage some bars. So you've basically got a square of bars. Well, a square of bars without the top or bottom. So you've kind of got like a small pen.
I made a pen.
If the thing is fatter than that, now that it's eaten, we could maybe squeeze it in that.
Could we fit 2 in?
I don't know how big these things are, Dathly.
Right. Well, we have it if we need it.
And that's better than not having it and needing it.
That's very true.
Can we fashion a lid at all or a base? Do you think? Is there enough wood nearby? We're in a forest. Can we make this an actual cage?
You could, yes.
Daphne!
Okay,
I need you to be very
looking.
heroic and make a cage.
I'm going to be very heroic and make a cage. So, I suppose, is there anything metally left kind of around here for me to...
There's a couple of basic lumps of iron that were used for the caravan,
Okay.
but most
Okay.
of the caravan seems to be made of wood.
So, would I be able to roll smithing again for that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Rolling smithing. Ha ha ha.
What you do make is a bit flimsy, and when you sort of put weight on it, it just bends slightly inwards, but it's a box.
In my professional opinion, I don't think what I was able to make out of this is actually gonna hold one of these guys. But I'm not very good at foraging, but if someone could find me something else around here, I might be able to try again.
Well, for now, possibly I could just sit on it if we catch one. But here's
Well-
a cage to put them in.
Yes.
Are we going for plan B? Are we hunting a bear?
I mean, while Daphne has been working on building our cage, I would have been trying to track. So, can I make a tracking roll for that?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. You managed to track down a smallish bear. Are you wanting to shoot it?
I mean, given that this whole tracking experience, have I left on my own for that, or have folks followed me?
I would have come with you.
Right. I have backup. You say it's smallish bear, so small like cub, or small like young, or small like malnourished,
Small as in young.
but not a cub. And there were no other tracks around, no larger bears.
Bigger than a cub, but not quite fully adult.
Right. Now, I will string my bow and Trez. This is a bear, so it's quite likely to, take more than a few arrows to make it stay down. So it will be best if we work together on this, but also be aware, while they did not find any tracks, there might be a larger adult bear, if not immediately around, then at least in the forest.
Yep.
So,
I've got my throwing knives out.
and in that case, I guess I shoot the bear.
Alright.
Should I roll since
You
I have...
just seem to anger the bear. It turns around and starts charging toward you, snorting loudly.
I was gonna throw one of my daggers as well, so...
Okay, roll. Yep, Rooney manages to catch the bear in the neck. It's a straight kill wound. It just bleeds out badly and collapses in about 2 seconds.
How big are these knives?
More kind of how accurate with her shot.
I'm very good.
I mean, there's usually
Right
a
in the
bit
jugular.
of... A hit to the jugular is not an instant kill.
It is when
It's
you
a kill
stab
wound.
bear in the neck with it.
Would you like it to be charging you still?
I mean, there's a reason I picked a halberd as my primary weapon. But yeah, I'd like a dead bear more than that.
So what are you going to do with this bear?
Butcher it, get slabs of meat from it, or... Actually, is it small enough that the two of us can carry it?
Between the two of you, you could probably drag it back, yeah? Should be easy enough.
Then I suggest we bring the dead bear and use the entire thing as bait.
Mm-hmm.
In which case, we drag this back.
Alright.
So presumably, that takes as long for us as it took to make the box.
Yep. So you've now got a box, and you've now got a dead bear.
Woohoo!
Should we poison the bait?
Do you have any poison?
We have rubbing alcohol. That makes things sick if you eat it.
Or makes them drunk, which might make them sleep.
Oh,
Are we biking a bear?
Would I know how to make poison? Can I?
bike the bear.
Roll nature.
Me?
You make something that's very foul smelling and definitely poisonous. As you pour it on the bear stinks like basically disease.
Whoops.
That
Well-
is not...
It won't
might
want to
still eat
eat it now. But
Maybe
what
they
if-
will. We can garnish it.
What happens if we just flip the bear over?
I mean,
So that-
we can still take off chunks of it. It's not
Yeah,
that...
exactly. Like, flip the bear over and cut off the chunks that did not get drenched.
Ah, bears, those chunky boys.
I could just pour an antitoxin on it and that would neutralize it, maybe?
Do antitoxins not also have a smell?
Maybe. I don't know. Do antitoxins also have a smell?
Probably.
Okay, but would the effect be neutralizing or would this make it worse? You know what? Let's just go for cutting chunks off. That's going to be the safest thing, isn't it?
Mhm.
Safer.
This goes in the smell pile. This goes in the possibly safe pile.
All right, let's cut.
I guess we cut.
Cut.
Cut
I
two.
suppose we
It's
want to
done.
leave. I suppose we want to leave the good meat where the horses were, because they fed there. They might come back to there looking for food. I don't know how tame or wild or hunterly these creatures are, but they scavenged. So,
Not thinking, Penny.
so they
Right.
might come back to rescavenge.
So as you finish setting this up, you notice Daddy walking past you and he goes, "That's a nice trap, that. Anyway, I'm away off to find Harris and tell him about all this. You gonna be about here or are you gonna be about somewhere else?"
Stay by the trap, won't we?
Yeah.
Is this you asking us for our time slot?
Well, the next option for time slots is the town hall, the inn, the market, or... Well, there's not really much going on in the forest, so it's up to you if you want to stay here, if you want to go somewhere else.
Well, we don't know if... When would they feed?
And,
At night?
The horses disappeared overnight.
but also, I mean, I know this was one of the rules for the Halloween game here, that we have to all go together, but I would otherwise have suggested leaving Searle on watch duty, keeping an eye on the trap from a vantage point while everyone else keeps the investigation going.
I have a feeling that leaving everybody here would be a disadvantage to the trap. I think the
Exactly.
trap would probably work better unsupervised than supervised.
But we actually made the trap so that it somehow gets in the box. Like, is the bear in
Yes,
the box?
we have somehow done that.
Okay.
You've somehow managed to make basically a reverse Jack in the Box with a bear inside.
Okay. All right. Well, just making sure. Well, in that case,
With the rock that will conveniently fall on it when something's inside. Yes, we're fine.
well, I'll go wherever you guys go then.
The options again are town hall, inn, or market square.
Market might be good to go to if we want to talk to that tiefling guy.
I have a feeling that the town hall is where the politics are going to happen, and you'll see Daddy and Harris, and possibly the person who took the books.
Don't want to deal with more politics.
Unless more of these guys' politics, yes. Unless the books are actually in the market already. But then they were taken for education, and the town hall's also kind of used as a school, so I don't know. I would just suggest not the inn. I think we're done with the inn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I don't really want to see Reese again.
that is understandable.
He kind of freaks me out a little.
I guess we go to the market to just spend a couple hours.
Alright, is that where you want to go?
Everybody on?
Yeah.
So you
Market
head
it is
back
then.
from the forest and you head towards the market square. You notice there is a, as I said before, the massive fountain with 2 dogs on top of it. You see a humble looking blacksmith's shop. You see a stables which is all boarded up, like all the hatches are still down and the doors are still locked, which is surprising for this time of day. You see an empty stall with some dead flowers all around it, and you see what looks like a caravan with a shadowy figure sitting inside it. Where do you want?
Is it the caravan we arrived on?
No, different caravan.
Okay. First off, I will poke the the dog statues atop the fountain with my halberd.
Alright, both dog statues are indeed stone.
Good.
Oh, clever.
Mm-hmm.
I just realised what you were doing. Yes, fair. Okay.
And I also thought I heard him say there were 3 dogs when we arrived, so it might have been 2 dogs all along, but I'm now questioning myself.
I didn't make a note of how many dogs he said. I know that the fountain had dogs on it and that there were 3 market stalls, but that's all I took a note of, sorry.
Alright, so what are you going to do in this town square?
Just by any chance, does the fountain also happen to have a motif of squirrels and rats fighting?
Nope, it just has a sort of motifs of dogs and fountains.
They said the dogs helped fight the rats. Is that what they said?
Yes.
Ah, they really like
weird.
dogs here.
I mean, Daddy did have a dog. Have we seen any other dogs?
We've seen 1 or 2 sort of around the village. They do seem to be more sort of like larger, more mountain-like dogs than, you know, your standard lowlands dogs.
Are these St. Bernards?
Larger working dogs, so like your sort of St. Bernards, your Mastiffs, your
These
kind of Great Danes kind of thing, and similar kind of the sort of larger, like mountainous dogs.
Okay, I actually want to look at like the wilted flowers, but I imagine that might not be particularly useful. What was there again?
There's a sort of humble looking blacksmith, there's a stall with sort of dying flowers on it, and there's the boarded up stables, and there's the caravan with the shady figure.
Now, you say shady figure. Is that because they're in the shade or because they're actually looking shady?
They're in the shade.
Well,
Is it a sunny day?
Well, it's sunny enough. It's more sunny than not. It's not cloudy, but it's...
There are clouds present.
Yes.
Alright, I'm going to examine the stall with the wilting flowers.
Alright, as you walk over to it, you hear a voice going, "That's Emmeline's shop. She's not here today. You looking to buy some flowers?"
Maybe, if there were any that were rare or interesting. Where's
Well,
Emmeline?
Not really sure, to be honest. She's not been to work the last 2 days. Usually she's up every morning, goes round the forest, picks up lots of flowers, brings them back.
Oh,
for a
no.
lovely display, but she's not been here the last 2 days.
oh no. Oh no.
What?
Should we tell him?
No, let's not say
No.
anything.
Okay.
I apologize for the
I'm sure she's fine.
bad acting by my compatriots.
Oh, it's probably some bug going round. I mean, Luther's not been here either. I mean, that
Certainly,
stables
yes.
has not been open at all the whole day.
I'm certain that must be it, yes.
Oh, I mean, he was here last night. He locked them all up because he was there when we left. And usually he's here before us, but he wasn't here a day. I know
That's very good.
going mad. You can hear him in there. They're not being let out.
Wait, he's still home? You can hear him?
Well, we don't
The
know where he
horses.
is. He usually would be here by now, but you can hear them horses.
The horses have not been cared for. He's missing.
Does he usually go out in the forest as well?
Not really, no. He does live the other side of the forest with his mother.
Oh, he walks through the forest then.
Aye. A lovely walk, that, especially in summer.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
I think I'm gonna go walk awkwardly over to the blacksmith's.
Well,
So we'll-
that's the blacksmith
so we'll
talking
walk
to you right now.
Have a nice day.
Alright, well, you have a nice day as well. Unless you're here for the whacking festival, I can sell you a nice hammer.
Oh
When
god,
is
the
the
whacking
whacking
festival? The whacking festival is happening soon?
Oh, aye, it's in about 2 weeks' time now. I can only sell these hammers to children now because we're not allowed to let adults, hit Jack. It's a lot of damage to him again last year, and he's only just healed up now.
That's smart.
Can I make a suggestion?
Aye.
Can you please not hit Jack?
Oh, I don't hit Jack. I don't have anything to do with it. But Harris thinks it's good for the, community, for us all to, celebrate charging these rats out of town. And the best way to do that is to celebrate it by, whacking this, rat every year. So that's what we do.
You make a
Yes,
stuffed rat?
For the cultural enjoyment of everybody, if you wanted to include the entire village, perhaps instead of using hammers, you might use a bag full of feathers.
Or get a fake stuffed rat?
Well,
Yeah.
Jack's had the costume now for a good 12 year, and he fits it quite nice. I mean, I had to make a helmet for him after the first year, but it fits not bad, although he does have problems seeing in it.
Well, if I could go to the blacksmith, I could get you materials. I could make a rat statue for you. Then you could egg it and throw things at it, and everyone could hit it as hard as they wanted, not just the kids.
Well, I am a blacksmith.
Oh, you are the blacksmith. You could make a rat statue. I could help you.
I offer to do that, but Aris said no, we need an interactive rat.
Then can I
I
come
can-
back to this bag of feathers idea?
Well, that don't move around too much, and the children love it. I mean, last year we had Ravain's youngest. She ran up and she whacked Jack right in the knee, fell over in 3 seconds. It was marvellous. You should
What
have
if
seen
I
her little
made you-
face. She was beaming from ear to ear.
Okay, so this is a ridiculous idea, just that I cannot listen to this. Oh no. So can I maybe roll for tinkering and smithing to see if I could just, literally see if I could make him some kind of rat robot?
Animatomic.
Like an animatronic rat.
Sure, go for it.
Please, oh, poor Jack. I have to save Jack. It's my top priority is helping Jack right now. Okay, I think I did that right.
Yep, you make a sort of vaguely clockwork-style rat. After about an hour of smithing, you make this sort of clockwork-style rat that's fairly chunky. And when you put it down, you can wind it up with this massive key, and it does shoot forward along the ground. That's a bit of magic, that. But it does go that fast, though. I mean, a lot of the kids, they can't run that fast.
Well, you know what? If you wind it less, it'll go slower. And you can hit it, and I can even draw up the plans for it for you, so you can make one every year. You can totally destroy this rat on a yearly basis.
It might break Jack's heart, though. He loves playing the mouse.
I guarantee you Jack will be fine. You know what? If you give
Jack will be
a-
able to hit it as well.
Yeah, Jack can hit it. Then Jack can get it on the fun with all the kids, and, they'll love it. They'll love it.
Oh, well,
Please.
I'll pass it on to Aris and see what he does.
All right, please pass it on to Harris.
I think we should get back to trying to these things before they eat anyone else.
Right.
So presumably, while Daphne's been doing this, we might have been approaching the shady figure.
So as you sort of approach the stall outside the shady figure, you see him sort of leaning forward in the shadows and he goes, "Are you looking for something alchemical?"
At this point, in addition to being in the shade, the figure is actually shady.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Who usually buys alchemical stuff here?
Well, we have many customers.
That seems entirely...
For example, she loves some alchemical.
Yes, I would assume Maud would buy some alchemical stuff given she does medicine, but that seemed to be quite a lot of monies for this smaller town.
Well, I travel around. I don't just spend all my time in this rat-baiting village.
Oh, hello, are you Gunnings?
I am. Have you heard my name?
Oh, I'm something of a travelling merchant as well myself. Yes, your reputation is well known here. How do you manage it? What's your schedule?
Well, I was planning on staying here for the next few days and then making my way upriver.
Interesting. You don't stay around for the local festivals then? You're just in and out on your own time?
Oh, I don't stay around for whacking day. I don't want to watch them beat that poor child into a bloody pulp again.
Is that a loss of profit for you, despite, the amount of people who must be outdoors in those days?
It's a moral victory, to be honest, but I don't really appreciate watching these, customers release their children armed with large hammers to the sort of squeaking remains of a small, beat-up child.
Very conscientious of you. May I have a look at your inventory?
Of course. And he sort of gestures to the table in front of you, and it looks like lots of bags, little caskets, boxes, like potions, powders, all that kind of stuff.
Most curious. And so you deal entirely in alchemical reagents?
Well, whenever I can, yes.
And your customer base is primarily medicine people? Or adventurers
medicine.
Or tinkerers or...
Upriver, you'd be surprised. There's some sort of queer belief recently that some of these earth herbs can cure impotence. I've never started such a rumor, but I do profit from it.
Oh, how clever. Very ingenious.
False advertising.
If you're willing to dump your private parts, shall we say, in a vat of turmeric, then that is your thing, not mine.
But you are happy to...
What else are you going to use turmeric for?
Turmeric helps people with inflammation, right? Yeah.
Is that
sure
not-
it does.
Would that not rather be the opposite reaction they're looking for? I'm getting sidetracked. Gunnings, you're a traveller. Have you heard of... You must have heard of, an accident happening on the mountain roads nearby here.
Oh, you mean the caravan?
Yes, you travel quite consistently. How dangerous are those mountain roads?
They're not very dangerous at all. I mean, I'm surprised he managed to fall. I mean, it seems that he wasn't paying attention to what he was doing. He just seemed to just plummet off the edge as like his horses saw a ghost.
A ghost?
Well, what else would it be? They seem to lurch forward and then plummet straight off a cliff. I mean, even
So
my
you
horse,
thought
when I fell asleep, doesn't fall off cliffs.
Maybe bear.
Something startled them nonetheless.
Through this entire conversation, has he moved?
He sort of leans a little bit forward, but doesn't seem to exit the shadows, if you know what I mean.
I'm gonna shimmy up and ask Cyril, do you think I should chase him?
But
Should I chase him?
Daphne goes up next to Cyril and says that out loud?
Yes, it asked him.
Who were you chasing?
You, to see if you're a fuzzy creature.
Oh, I didn't realize that was your kink.
Oh, why is everyone in this town like this? No!
Daphne, stop trying to chase things. Because if you
Okay.
catch it, it might eat you.
But I just thought it was a good test.
It would be a good test if it wasn't for the fact that they would eat you.
Okay. Well, I'll try not to get eaten, mistress. Sorry to worry you.
So, how can I help you?
You know a lot about the crash. Did you see it happen?
No, I saw them bring the poor boy through the town and set him up in Maud's house. And then I saw the young pigtail girl bring all those books.
Where did she bring the books?
She brought them to the town hall. I mean, there are many things there that young girls should not be reading.
What kinds of stuff?
Well, even from here you could see there were many symbols, and let's just say they're more familiar to someone of my kin.
Demonic. I mean, sorry, that was rude.
Well, it is accurate.
If I can just sidle back to Cyril and speak quietly. 1, should we perhaps consult him on the symbol inside the pocket watch? 2, should we perhaps consult him on the potential uses for an Arcadian if caught and dismembered?
Someone poke Tauno.
I am here. Oh. I thought you were saying, I think, since we're dealing actually, first off, given that we have something of an alchemical reagent expert and salesman here, how useful are the bodies of Atharacadians compared to living Atharacadians?
Are you asking him?
Yeah, I'm asking him outright, trying to find out if there's a reason to keep them alive at all.
Arcadians? You don't mean the small, furry, magical pets, do you?
Pets?
Yes, they're very sought after in the demonic realm, you know. They're fun to, feed captives to, as it were.
Okay, so not mortal pets.
Well, they're small and cute and cuddly and dispose of bodies well.
Yes. Again, to circle back to the question, I know they have alchemical uses. Are those uses making use of living or just dead parts of Atharacadian?
Well, I'm sure I could grind their bones up and sell it as something, but it's a lot of work.
No use for the heart then, or the entrails, the blood isn't useful, it's just the collective alive creature is the useful part, or the expensive.
You're looking for a shaman, you're not looking for an alchemist.
Alchemy has no use for... Okay, thank you.
No, shamanism has far more use for entrails and organs than alchemy.
I have a question, sir.
Yes?
Well, do you... And I take out the pocket watch and open it up with its little symbol in there, because presumably I still have it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what this symbol is?
Let me see. And a very sort of bony hand comes out of the dark and slowly takes the watch off you and brings it closer and then looks at it and he goes, the Guild of Accountants, you say? They are very, very boring. And just takes it back and offers it to you.
Okay, so he's the accountant for the Guild of Accountants. That's really, really boring.
And he's bad at his job.
Yeah, what would accountants want with this? Unless my mom told me all accountants are demons. Maybe they wanted them as pets.
No,
Wow.
he
No, I do believe that his story was true and he was in fact swindled while drunk.
yeah.
No, I am somewhat surprised, given that, again,
That the story is true.
that a member of the Guild of Accountants that was in high enough standing to become the Guild of Accountants treasurer turned out to be this bad at their job.
Oh, he's
Well,
a
bureaucracy.
guy.
I mean,
He's a patsy. He's being offed.
even
Someone's setting him up.
if that is true, then that's none of our business. Unless we make it our business and earn bank on it.
That seems immoral.
It doesn't seem very heroic.
Daphne, what do you think a hero does when there's no one in immediate danger?
Probably they go out looking for people who need help.
And
You
I
know,
did.
like Kelvin.
Exactly.
Yeah, and we're helping Kelvin, except for we don't care about helping Kelvin.
We care about helping Kelvin, we just don't particularly care about keeping Kelvin alive.
Well, that's not really helping Kelvin then, is it?
We're doing what he's asked us to. We are helping him with a task that he seems to think he can't accomplish himself.
I think you're using a lot of... I don't know. Maybe I'm just dumb. But you're getting an awful lot of jumps in logic. I mean, for me, helping someone is their well-being, right? And their well-being isn't very looked after if they're dead. But I am but simple Daphne.
Well, I didn't suggest offing Calvin ourselves, simply just bending the situation to our mutual benefit. That he might need further help after this, and that we might need further compensation.
Okay,
Providing
if you
that
say
further.
so.
In either case, I want to check out the stables.
Alright.
Do you need to buy anything from Mr. Shade?
Well, so far everybody has been bartering for, what we have on us. So I'm quite happy just to stand and talk to Gunnings about his trade route and various other mercantile activities while you go off and look after the stables.
Alright.
I mean, the stables we now know aren't actually open. So my first question would be whether the door is locked.
Yep, you walk over to the stables. The door seems... It's like it would have been locked as it would have been like on someone leaving to go home for the night.
Can I tell what type of lock it is? Is it like a bolt lock? Is there like
It's
a slab of wood?
It's a bolt lock with a padlock.
You want me to take care of it?
That would be very helpful, Triss.
Okay, what would I roll for this? Because I have thieves' tools.
Add your dexterity. Yep, you open the padlock, no problem. You take it off, slide the bolt down, and open the door. The horses immediately, as soon as you open the door, seem very agitated.
I just step out of the way and let Cyril come through.
Right. Horses are agitated, but they're still locked in their pens.
Do me an awareness check.
Okay.
Should I do one as well, or...?
You can do one as well if you want.
Okay.
Cyril just basically smells the scent of basically horses that have been kept inside for most of the day. However, Triss does smell the scent of blood.
I'm just gonna grab Cyril's shoulder to keep him in place from going any further inside.
Alright.
Okay.
There's blood in here.
Now, I didn't notice that, but it does not surprise me.
Please gonna waddle to the door and just stand there. Like, oh, what's going on? Ugh.
You know how the person who runs the stables hasn't been seen in a couple days?
Yeah?
Like, we all know why, so check out the crime scene.
He might have found what remained.
Be careful.
Triss, can you follow that scent of blood you have?
Can I see where it's coming from?
Roll me another awareness check. In the very back corner, you see a very large pool of blood, and you see some blood marks on the wall leading up to a broken window.
Lovely. Alright, I'm gonna point it out to Cyril.
So, my guess is... Actually, you say broken window. Is the glass visible at all on either side of the broken window?
It had shutters, not glass, and the shutters are sort of broken and lying on the floor, one on the inside, one on the outside.
So I can't tell whether this was an entry or an exit. So someone...
It's about 4 meters off the ground, just so you're aware how high the window is.
It is unlikely to be an exit, and someone did lock the stables after leaving. I mean, he didn't live in the stables, did he?
Are all the pens full? Like, all the horses are there?
All the rest of the pens are full of very nervous, very agitated horses.
Okay.
The blacksmith said he lived with his mom across the forest on the other side.
Well, my theory would then be that moving through the forest, they caught the scent of him, followed him here, did the murdering, locked the door after them, which suggests a level of intelligence that I had not expected, and also reveals that they have been in town.
So what you're saying is that they can turn into people and then kind of move like people?
Well, what Maud said was that when they moved, they revealed the fact that they were transformed. Not that they had to stay still, so maybe they just moved out on the cover of darkness or just avoided being spotted.
But they can lock doors.
You don't think that possibly the person who left might not have been him? Like, it might have actually been one of the creatures impersonating him?
I think that might be it, or just impersonating any shape that could lock the door.
Triss already told me not to chase things, so,
Don't chase things.
But the horses, because there are two of them, is it possible any of these horses are,
Are all the horses freaking out at the moment?
Yes, all of them are freaking out at the moment.
And they're moving.
Yep. A lot of them are kicking against the restraints of the pen.
Can I go
Okay.
to one and like try to calm it down, or does it just freak out more?
Roll animal handling.
Oh, I might not. I don't think I have. Oh, I'm not the person to do this. Okay.
Don't look at me.
Or me?
I love animals, but they hate me.
As you try and calm the horse down, the horse just keeps getting more agitated.
Poor babies. Master Blacksmith always told me it's because I'm not conscientious enough.
Is anyone else a little worried that they're not calming down?
There must be something that's still upsetting them.
The smell of blood.
Yeah.
Though keeping them agitated for a couple of days is a bit much. Also, would the smell of blood not have weakened?
If someone's not been taking care of them for days, is it possible, I don't know, that we're freaking them out? Freaking them out. I can't talk.
There's just blood, right? There's not a body or anything like that, like to indicate where it came from.
There's a large pool of blood, and then there's blood streaks leading up the wall towards the window.
Okay.
Do we want to follow?
Maybe you should go outside and see if we can follow where the tracks went.
Yes, maybe a stable hand was attacked and went through the window and left the pool of blood there. But then there are no tracks leading to the front door from the pool of blood.
My sweetheart Daisy really loves books, and she has all these mystery books. She calls it the locked room dilemma.
And what's that about?
The locked room?
Mm-hmm.
Like the idea of a perfect locked room. Like, how did people get in and out of it when the murder happened inside the room? But it's like the room is locked in such a way that it's like, who could have come in and out? Locked room. It's a mystery.
Yeah,
She's gonna love this story.
Triss is going outside to see if she can see if there are any more.
Do you want to try and find it? Roll tracking.
No.
You just see the bloodstains. There's still some bloodstains sort of coming down. There's a small pool of blood at the foot of the...
Well, if Runie's visible through the broken window on the other side...
Well, window, as I said, is 4 meters up, but there's like a pool of blood on the other side, like something is hit the ground like a sack of blood.
Yeah, but what I mean is, if if Triss makes us within the stables aware that she has crossed around and is now on the other side, Cyril will ask, is there anything up there?
More blood, but I don't see anything else.
Hold on. And so we'll also go out there to take a look.
Alright.
Gonna waddle after you guys. I just go where you go.
Then I shall also attempt tracking here.
Alright. Yep, there's definitely a trail of blood.
It's subtle, but there is something we can follow here.
And it leads behind the fountain.
The fountain has a front and a back.
Well, the dogs are facing one way and it's got a sort of horseshoe style bit where the water flows down. So there is a behind the statue.
Shit, there might actually have been 3 dogs when we arrived. Are there 3 dogs right now?
Nope, 2 dogs.
Is very concerning.
Does the trail just end behind the fountain?
Trail ends next to... Actually, do me another awareness roll. Let's see if you see where this trail ends.
I was about to ask whether it ends just next to the fountain or if it goes up the edge of the fountain.
Yeah, you notice that it's dragging to what looks like a set of bars, and then it seems to... You look through the bars and there seems to be a pool of blood. Like, in the gloom straight down, you see there's definitely a pool of blood down there.
The town has a sewer system?
I hate this town.
Well,
This is just getting weirder and weirder.
Are we following it down?
I suppose so.
At this point, I'm going to like make my goodbyes to Gunnings and like rejoin the party
Alright.
because I see that they're doing stuff.
Penny, I think we found a fuzzy monster.
Or the remains of dinner time.
Yeah, but like the trail of a... I'm not speaking good. The trail of a fuzzy monster.
So how do we open this grate?
Well,
Do we...
Are you going to use any form of light source, or are you just going to...
I have a torch and I have a crowbar.
Alright, then roll your strength to see if you can use the crowbar to get the grate off. Yep, you managed to loosen the grate and haul it off. There is a old rusted ladder leading down, and about 3 meters down, there's definitely a pool of blood.
So I'll light my torch and go down the ladder first and ask someone to lower my halberd down to me because halberds are quite long and difficult to climb ladders with.
Strong, and I can do it.
Okay, roll awareness.
for getting handed my halberd?
No, for just what you see in the dark.
Okay. I mean, I have my torch.
Yep.
Wow,
Six,
not...
six is debatable low, but considering it's quite obvious, I'll just tell you. You're turning around with your torch, hold your torch up. In front of you are about 50 to 100 eggs.
No one told me it lay eggs.
What do you see?
There are eggs down here.
Up,
A
like
lot
Mom
of eggs.
said, breeding pair.
Yeah.
I guess we should destroy the eggs, right?
No, we should
Save
not destroy
4.
the eggs. We should save 2 and bring those back, and then
Well-
we've returned to Arcadians.
I mean, I would argue we bring more than 2 because they would have to hatch and grow, and thus we could argue, oh, we got to do more, but yes, it's an investment now. I like the rest on fire. Maybe just see if we can help folks out before leaving Luchgobar.
But if they're demonic creatures, we don't know how fast they grow or how fast they hatch.
Well, the trip back only takes a day.
Babies, though. Are we
have a
really
box.
gonna?
The first things babies do is sometimes feed. So
Oh,
We have a box and we have bear.
And then
Daphne?
we would
And-
also leave this whole town to...
To beat up Jack again.
well, if we left all the eggs, it'd be wiped off the face of the earth. So you know that's the
And
thing.
there's still the
We cannot
breeding pair
reasonably
that
leave-
could just make the eggs again.
yeah.
But we have warned them about that.
Yeah, but do you really think these people are gonna leave their village? I mean, they seem pretty invested in it.
And they're not super bright.
They're kind of like me, but dumber.
Yeah.
I still suggest, at the very least, we need to take like 4 eggs with us as collateral investment. Just, to pay back Kelvin his 2 and potential extra. Everything else needs to be smashed immediately.
We could bring up some eggs and just ask our tiefling buddy, Mr. Gunner, if he, to appraise them. He seems to know about the demonic pet market.
I mean, you can come fetch him and we have him take a look down here.
No, we bring him here, then he will stake claim. We need to bring them to them, have them in our possession first.
Yes.
Fine. And does it look like I
You-
can get one of the eggs out of the clutch?
Roll dexterity to try and extract one, or animal handling if you have it.
I don't.
Then dexterity. Yep,
19.
you managed to, somehow using your halberd, and very carefully you managed to extract one of the eggs.
I mean, I do have a sword, which is usually more maneuverable than a halberd.
What do you want
Yeah,
to do
I
with
got
it?
an egg.
It's about the size of, let's just say, a bowling ball.
Wow, that's a big egg. The fact that there are 50 to 100 of those, wow. No wonder I only needed a 6 to notice that.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so how long is the ladder?
The ladder's about 3 meters.
And how heavy is the egg?
Let's just say it's about a 2 kilo egg, but it does feel like something is moving inside it.
Ugh.
Lovely.
Is it like a dry egg or a slimy egg?
Mostly dry, but you do feel that there's a sort of very slight layer of slime just to keep it like cool.
It's moist.
Yeah, moist and cool.
Ugh. I'll climb back up the ladder with torch in one hand, egg in the other, halberd next to the ladder, and hand it over at the top of the grate. Unless something comes up and stops me.
Nope, there's nothing else down there to stop you.
I'll take an egg.
Who's got the egg?
I'll hold the egg if you want me to.
Alright.
How many are we passing up here?
I think it's just one for now if we have him.
If Cyril's willing to stay down there and pass them up, I say we should bring 5 up just now, 4 for us to keep, 1 for our appraisal friend who's probably going to want to buy it off us. If Cyril would be so kind as to just pass up the eggs.
Yeah, I'll start doing that.
Alright. So, it take maybe about 20 odd minutes and you manage to pass 5 eggs up.
So now we have the eggs. Should I just apply torch, see if the slime is flammable?
You can try if you want.
You could use the alcohol
The rubbing alcohol.
if we still have it.
We didn't use it on the bear.
Yeah, you can use it if you want.
So I guess I hand over the 5th egg, I get the rubbing alcohol in return.
Mm-hmm.
Would I know how to make a Molotov cocktail with
Would you
no
use it?
alchemy?
I imagine it's pretty easy of just stuffing a bit of cloth in, like flipping up and down a couple of times to soak the cloth in and lighting it, so yeah.
And then I Molotov cocktail the egg cluster.
Roll, see how it goes.
Roll what?
Roll to not explode yourself, dear.
I mean, it's just a flat
Dexterity.
D20.
Dexterity.
Dexterity.
Yeah,
Dexterity,
dexterity.
I'd have said.
Christ.
Ooh, let's see.
A 9.
Did you hit yourself?
How far is the egg cluster from the ladder is what
Natural
matters.
1. Yeah, you managed, although you smash it next to yourself, your leg does catch fire as well.
Get it out!
Well, I'm in the sewers, so can I jump down in some sewage?
There's no actual water here. Although it's damp, it's not got any actual water. It seems to be just a sort of cavern underneath the waterfall.
Right.
You need to
I mean,
pull
I'm-
him up and get him in the fountain.
Yeah, that's
up,
what I'm
put
Get in
thinking.
the fountain, yes?
Yeah, I'll race up the ladder then and jump in the fountain.
Alright.
Someone didn't.
Okay, as you do that, you see a very confused looking dwarf looking at you going, "What are you doing there?"
My leg was on fire, as you do.
What?
That's completely normal everywhere else.
Oh, alright, okay.
Very susceptible to new information.
I see. She just looks at you over her glasses, just really confused.
I'll just sit in the fountain staring straight back.
Fair enough. So what's everyone else doing?
Trying to control their laughter.
Pretty much.
Deathly's not even trying to control it.
By the time the dwarf lady has looked away, if no one has actually gone down to check on the eggs and the fire, I suppose. So
I imagine we can check on the fire from above because
Yeah.
you smashed it kind of right by the
Let's
ladder.
see.
So like, I think we can be fairly sure it's still a flame or not.
A portion of below has basically engulfed in flame. When you look down, it does only seem to be like to the left of the grate rather than all of it, if you know what I mean. Like the right side seems unaffected.
So there's still some egg in there to scramble.
yeah,
Maybe we should just do it the old-fashioned way and just
smash. Yeah, I mean my halbert's still there, so I'll go down.
We should just acquire a hammer from the blacksmith.
I mean, I have a flail. He has a halberd.
And a sword.
hammer. I have a hammer.
I have a shield. I could probably just run into them.
I'm staying up here because I don't imagine there's enough space down there for all of those weapons going every direction.
Well, if you want, I could stay up here and help you with the guy and the eggs and the...
How are you storing these
Appraisal.
eggs, by the way?
Well, I have a bag of feathers, and I suppose I could tip the feathers out and put the eggs in the bag. Or would the feathers be useful as cushioning? You know what? I could store them in my bag of feathers.
Okay. So are you putting all 5 in there or just 4?
4 in there. I think we'll have to carry one separately so we can take it to Gunnings.
Alright, so you have
I'll carry
about,
it. I'm strong.
let's say it's about a 10 kilo bag containing feathers and eggs now.
This is the best use of a bag of feathers ever. So while the guys are down there smashing, I suppose we take the extraneous egg over to Gunnings.
Alright. Are you just going to walk up to him and just offer it to him, or are you going to do...
I'm just going to walk up to him and like, just a pardon on an aside about the entire hypothetical Arcadian conversation earlier. Would this happen to be of any interest to you? And show him the egg. Don't give it over, just show him the egg.
Where did you find that?
I have sources.
Nowhere. Absolutely nowhere.
Oh god.
And you notice him, like, very quickly start packing up his stall.
What's wrong?
You might not know this, but listen to me. You've got about 2 days. You need to get as far away from here as possible.
Well, we were leaving
right.
at the latest tomorrow, so
Yes, we don't intend to leave quite soon, but if you wouldn't mind just clarifying, why?
Right. How many were there?
Like 50 to
many.
100.
upwards of 50,
Many.
yeah.
At this point, you see him, like, lean through the shade, and you see his face and his eyes are, like, as wide as they could possibly get. And he just looks at you and goes,
Run.
So,
Does he run?
yes. He's literally, like, very, very quickly and messily packing his stall up and throwing it back into the caravan.
Okay, but
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 while
Gunnar-
you're packing, this is what I think it is. Like, this is an Arcanian egg, yes?
Yes, it is, yes.
Okay.
They're like locusts. They'll destroy everything.
Oh.
okay. So, you don't want to buy one from us.
He stops and just turns around and looks at you and goes,
Buy one.
and let me see what his response is. Let's do a roll and see. Natural 2. He sort of stops for a minute, thinks, and then he sort of shakes his head and goes,
No, I don't deal in that things.
and he just starts crazily now packing his stuff up like a man possessed.
Wait, so, question. I have a bunch of friends who may or may not be currently smashing all the eggs. Does that change things a little?
Just, don't put fire in near them. Makes them hatch faster.
Don't put... What if we set some of them on fire?
Daphne, enough.
He just
Daphne.
stops, looks at you, and then just, like, as if he's trying to find the words, and then just gives up and just goes back to what he's doing.
Thank you for your time, Mr. Gunnings. I hope I see you on the road some other time. Daphne, let's get back to our companions quite quickly.
Okay, companions.
Guys, they may be hatching faster because they were on fire.
Well, we're still smashing them.
Yeah, I mean, if they're smashed, even if they were hatching faster, they're still gonna be smashed.
Faster is what we're saying.
Trish just kind of glares up. Goes back to smashing.
I have an ice wand. Should I maybe, like, ice a patch of earth or something to put these eggs in the bag on?
Does ice make them hatch slower?
Well, if fire makes them hatch faster, you could reasonably presume that the cold would do the opposite.
We made
Like a reverse incubation.
We made the reasonable assumption that fire would burn them, but when you actually contacted an expert, which you argued against, Penny.
I didn't. I said we should take the extra one.
You said he would stake his claim, that we should not show it to him beforehand.
Well, I said we should have them in our possession before we showed them to him.
Penny, you're kind of reaching. I'm gonna side with Cyril on this.
I mean, that's exactly what she said, though.
True. Also, still, I would prefer to know whether ice does something before doing it, considering...
especially if they're...
Alright, I will go back. I turn back. Is Gunning still there?
He is frantically packing the last of his stuff, and the blacksmith walked out and going, "Here, what are you doing all this for? You're usually real careful with that. What are you doing?"
Okay, begging your pardon again, Mr. Gunnings, sir. Would ice be any better at perhaps slowing them down?
He just turns to look at you with, like, sheer fear in his eyes and goes,
I don't know. I don't want to know. I'm getting the fuck out of here.
Right you are, sir. Thank you.
The blacksmith's going, "What's going on? What you done to put the fear in old Grunnings?"
Oh, we didn't... I mean, presuming... Can I hear it from below ground?
Sure.
I'll shout up. We made him aware of a secondary problem.
See, I turn to the blacksmith. There's a voice in the well. He's a little bit afraid of it. Nothing to worry about.
"Oh, is that Jack stuck down the well again? Oh, no problem. I'll use the hatch at the back." And he starts walking towards the hatch.
Oh,
wait.
no, it's not. It's Cyril. It's fine. He's okay. He'll be up in a moment.
"Oh, it's no problem. Did this happen
No.
to Jack before? Not gonna be a problem."
No.
Wait, can I tackle him to stop him?
Why
Yes.
are we keeping this secret?
There's a hatch at the back, yeah? We don't know what the hatch at the back leads to or opens out to, and they might be hatching. Have you
Wait,
finished smashing yet?
The
Have
hatch
we
at the
finished
back is what
smashing?
we entered through.
No,
The hatch at the back of the fountain.
Then how else do people fall in if the hatch isn't open?
I
There must be
don't
another
know.
exit.
I mean, he says he's going towards the hatch in the back. Does he move towards where we entered?
Yep.
Presumably there must be another way down there then,
Oh dear.
which means they moved out a different direction than they came in.
And maybe that's the way that they got into the city
Possibly, yes.
or town.
Now that they've cleared the eggs, can they see another exit, entrance, passageway?
Wait. We haven't really explored it. Very much just saw the eggs and, dealt with the eggs then. Awareness check.
Yep, you notice that around the edge there seems to be, it looks like decorative grating all the way around, but someone quite small and thin could easily, like, climb through it, and then they would drop down, like, the 2 meters and then wouldn't be able to get back out again.
Okay, I don't think you need to tackle him then. He's going to the same place they are. They can just call up that they're actually okay.
Yeah, we're good.
That's too bad. I'm really good at tackling people, guys.
You'll get a chance.
He walks to the back, he sort of looks at it and goes, "That shouldn't be lying open." And he looks down and goes, "What are you all doing in there?"
Oh, he's gonna die.
You doing anything while he's sort of peering into the dark looking at you all?
Mm-mm.
Hi there. This is the problem. Trying to take care of it.
What do you mean, problem?
Adventuring business.
Hang on a minute.
Adventuring business.
Starts climbing down the ladder towards you.
Please do not
Please.
take up space on the exit.
Actually, sir, if you could climb back up, I'll just explain. You see, there are mice, and
What?
we're the exterminators. We're exterminating the mice.
Oh, them mice are back. Well, I better
Yeah,
get the
we're
rest of the
just-
town together.
Yeah, no. Daddy hired us. Daddy hired us to get rid of the mice. So we're doing our job, and it's
And
okay.
Right now the problem is small, so when we're done with this, no panic.
There will be no mice.
Right.
And no need
So-
to worry the town.
Yes.
You may go back about your day preparing for whacking day.
Yes. With that mechanical mouse I made you, not with Jack. Please don't whack Jack.
He believes you, climbs back out and goes, oh well, if Daddy's sorting it, then I suppose it's alright. Well,
Yeah.
I just still can't get over how spooked Grunning's looked.
Oh, he's really scared of mice. He has a fear of them.
That's why he's never here for whacking day.
Yeah.
I always
Jack
wondered
in the
that.
costume just freaks him out too much.
Well, it is quite a scary costume, I'll have you that.
Yeah. Mice are scary.
Alright, so he goes back to his work. What are you gonna do?
We're smashing.
Are the eggs smashed yet?
Yeah.
Let's see. Natural one. Yeah, the eggs are smashed.
Cool. All smashed, guys.
I'm going to not ice the ones that we have. We were aware that they've got about 2 days. But we have got 5 of them. Do we want to smash the extra one and just keep the 4 in the bag?
I'll just throw this one on the floor and smash it.
Then throw it down the ladder, please. Don't make a mess up here.
Okay, throw it down the ladder. Wait, should I wait for, our buddies to get out first before I... Okay.
That
You
would
guys
be
all
cool.
up here? Oh, thank you, Penny. Okay. All up. Alright.
Yeah.
I will drop this down there and kapow! Smashed.
Is the 3 meter drop enough for the egg to smash?
Let her roll strength and see. You throw it down, it just makes a very dense boop. When it hits the ground, it doesn't seem to bounce, it just sort of rolls a little bit.
Ah, that's not
There's no
smashed.
obvious splat or anything, so...
Oh no. I'll crawl down there and smash it with my shield.
Alright.
So I crawl down there and roll again.
Yep. As you sort of jump on it with your shield, it just shoots across the room and rolls down one of the water pipes.
No! I'll try again, I guess.
Can you
I'm
even
just
still reach it?
following this egg through.
You just look down this pipe, it's completely gone. It's somewhere way, way, way below the ground.
Hey guys, I may have lost an egg, and I may have lost it unsmashed.
That's not good.
Trish just closes her eyes. Just
Could a halfling get down the pipe?
You could try. It is full of water, but yeah, you could try.
Could a halfling get back up the pipe?
Well, as I said, the pipe's full of water going straight down. It seems these eggs sink in water, so you
Oh.
could try, but it'd be sinking into the dark. Quite dark down there.
Maybe the egg has drowned.
I mean, I don't
maybe
think...
this might be the time to, if you ice it, maybe if you use your wand of ice and ice the water, it might be easier to get down there rather than, or at least to get back up.
If I ice the water, it will just be a circle of ice. Which, if I ice the water hard enough, it might be a circle of ice that nothing can get through, and it dies in the cold. Or it dies for lack of oxygen.
Possibly, but I think that's a better idea than you going down there and us not being able to get you again.
Ice the pipe?
I mean, we don't know
Okay.
what it leads to.
Yeah, okay.
pipe.
I'm going to attempt to ice the pipe in a kind of permafrost will not melt kind of manner for several months, by which point the egg will have died.
Okay. Roll.
This would be plus intelligence, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Yep. You freeze the water in the pipe. Seems very, very, very frozen.
We hope that will do and that will kill it, or at least keep it contained long enough to drown. I'm going to make my way back up through all the icky smashed eggs back towards the surface now.
Alright, so at this point, we'll get into the next time slot, which is evening. So there's the town hall, the inn, or staying at the town square. What do you want to do?
Not the forest, with the trap.
There's nothing at the forest, but because you've put the trap down, you could go to the forest and check if you wanted.
Yeah, but the
I think
nothing
that would-
beside that is a meta note that maybe not.
Well, I think maybe the trap will first yield after night, maybe tomorrow or something.
You're suggesting we check tomorrow morning?
Yes, because horses disappeared overnight. Presumably whatever happened in the stables happened overnight. They seem to be active during the darker hours. And it's still being like afternoon now, just getting into evening. I don't think the trap would have had time yet. This has been a very intense day.
Yeah.
I don't know. If we could talk to Maud again, we might ask her, because she's the only other person we've met that knows about the arthropedic.
Gunning's new, and he was quite insistent on fleeing, so I expect at this stage we need to go to the town hall and speak to the elders.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe find those books.
Yes, I also wish to know about the books.
Right. You go from the town square towards the town hall. As you're about to enter the town hall, you see Daddy leaving with another sort of oldish dwarf with long grey hair.
Hello,
Hi, Daddy.
Hi, oh, have you met Harris?
No.
Other oldest man goes,
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. I love to meet new people. Hello there. Welcome to lovely, 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 lovely town. Yes. Are you here for the Whackings Festival?
No.
Oh, that's a
In
shame.
fact-
You should take part. I mean, wait. Oh, sorry. I need to make sure, Daddy, we've had this discussion. Are you young enough to take part? We don't want, proper wax on young Jack anymore.
Actually, you might want to talk to the blacksmith about that. I kind of made a mechanical rat that maybe you could have fun whacking instead of Jack.
Oh, you made a mechanical jack. Oh, that's wonderful. Lots of uses for a mechanical jack in our lovely town.
That's
yeah.
one way of phrasing it, yes.
Yeah. But you could definitely whack him instead of the real Jack.
Well, we'll have to put it in front of the town council and see what everyone thinks, but I think it's worth taking under advisement. I mean, it's a great idea, great idea.
at this point, Daddy leads in go,
Right, we need to go. We need to call everyone together in the town square and have a wee speech. A lot of people have been disappearing, and Maud's got some idea in her head about this being some magical mage creature thing. So we've got to tell people to stay in twos and not go anywhere on their own.
That is a very good idea.
You might also want to maybe evacuate.
What?
What? Yeah, because Gunnar said.
Yeah, but we kind of removed that issue.
But what if there's more?
Oh, what if there's more?
I mean, birds have more than one nest sometimes, especially papa birds.
Oh dear.
So that's what I was thinking. We should probably, we should probably, because we told Gunnar we were smashing the eggs and he still wanted to run. So he probably knows something we don't about how many babies they usually have.
There might be more.
Yeah.
All right. Maybe
So
we
unless
should-
evacuate.
So basically, Daddy, we found a nest and there might be more nests, and each nest has about 50 plus babies in it, and the babies are carnivorous and are gonna eat your faces off. So
What?
everyone should pack up and run within 2 days.
at this point you hear,
Oh, carnivorous birds. That's a wonderful thing, Daddy. We've always wanted a tourist thing. We can bring people in. I mean, come meet the Luchgobar carnivorous bird.
They're not birds, they're buddies. Duh.
Bunnies?
They're rodents. Yes. They are rodents. They would side with the rats and the squirrels.
They would
Daddy,
side
the
with
mice
the
are
rats and the
back, are they?
squirrels. Yeah. The mice
The
are
mice
back.
are coming back at us.
The mice are back, and this time they're gonna eat you.
Right. I'll tell the blacksmith to get weapons on the go and we'll fight these mice bastards.
No, you should leave. These aren't the kind of mice you want to fight. These are the kind of mice that can turn
know.
into...
They might be. We've not fought one yet. They might actually be very easy to kill.
But they're mice that can look like your friends and family. Or your goats.
Yeah, you might. Yeah,
Daddy,
okay,
do you
but if you
also
stay
think
in
that
pairs,
Jack also looks quite like a mouse?
only in the costume.
What?
But if they have the plan, they're all going to stay in pairs and go about together anyway. So they will all know where everybody is. So they could fight. Like we should advise them to evacuate, absolutely. But we maybe shouldn't die on that hill with these people who beat Jack.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, certainly fighting seems heroic and all, but I think we have the best chance of everyone surviving if we all just leave.
And I also don't trust these people with a bunch of pointy weapons.
Yeah,
With
definitely.
an enemy they don't know what it looks like.
Yeah.
If they leave, these woods only have bears. These things are going to spread out to try and find food, which means they'll start attacking other villagers when they find them.
Well, the original breeding pair were caught somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So they exist in the world. They breed in the world, and yet
Do
they
they?
have not.
Or
That's not
actually, are
necessarily
they
true.
from the demonic underworld and they're not actually natural above?
Yeah, he did say they were from the demon world.
Or that they were popular there?
Demonic pets.
They might not actually have a habitat here.
So we should still
Uh,
try to destroy them, kill them.
Fighting
So-
might actually be the most heroic thing here. And Daddy is always right.
Wait,
Daddy is always right.
it's heroic? Like an extinction level event prevented?
Yes.
The,
Yes,
Black
Daddy,
man.
you would be an amazing hero for helping
que-
these people fight.
the question still remains, though, how we do the preventing.
We should definitely try to figure out if it has more nests, I think, and smash the other eggs.
Right, yes. Daddy,
Aye,
how many underground locations are there in town?
underground.
Yes,
Like the recess
like
beneath
this-
the well.
Yeah, like the space beneath the world.
Well, there's not that many, if I'm honest. There was a mine that the people used to have, but I think it's been sealed up for generations. The only reason
Oh,
there's
no.
anywhere underneath the fountain is because there used to be smuggling down from the mountains. But there's nothing else in town that's underground as far as I'm aware. Well, apart from the mine, but that's somewhere in the mountains. I have no idea where it is.
Is there a
Mines
possibility?
and smuggling caches. Mines and smuggling caches. Oh no.
At this point, the blacksmith is panically running up towards him and goes, Daddy, hey, the fountain's blocked. Something's happened.
Oh yeah, excuse me, I've got to go and deal with this.
And,
Alright, so that's where the pipe led.
so at this point, Daddy goes off with the panicked blacksmith and the old man. Leaves you standing outside the town hall. Inside, you can hear the sound of arguing.
Okay, let's not worry about the fountain. That's pretty well sealed. It will die. And we have others
And
to
we
deal
know
with.
when it's gonna hatch. So
If it hatches, if we haven't killed it.
we should probably find this mine.
Yeah.
Let's figure out what the argument is happening inside. Because we're here.
But, okay, sure, that makes sense.
Let's
Yeah.
put it on the docket.
You walk inside and you just hear, Children need to learn.
You stupid women, they don't need to learn demonic.
Oh, it's just drawings and just things. But children will be fine. I mean, they'll colour them in. It'll be great.
No, they don't learn demonic.
Oh, but it's just right. It's just scribblings, Maud. It'll be fine.
No, children do not need to learn demonic.
Oh, but it's just words. I mean, the children don't know what they mean. They can't read them.
And why should I let you keep them?
Well, I might try and help them read them one day.
That's my point. Give them here.
No, the children need them. They need to learn, Maud.
Okay,
Children do
Hello.
not need to learn demonic.
No, they really don't. Especially not in this town.
should I tackle them?
No.
Oh,
No, this isn't the tackle moment yet.
okay.
We're still on diplomacy here, Dathly.
Okay. Hello, can we have those books? I'm a child and I need to learn.
You walk in and Maud's standing next to the dwarf that Cyril saw that was basically questioning why he was sitting in the fountain. She seems to be adamant that the books that they took from the caravan should be kept here for the children to learn, and Maud is just going crazy that she's even contemplating teaching the children demonic.
Oh, thank you. You have found them. How wonderful. We were sent to recover the remains from the crash. Thank you for taking such good care of them for us. We'll be very glad to return them to their owner.
But the children need to learn.
Well,
I mean,
Yes,
this one
the
here-
lesson of returning property to the rightful owner.
And
You'll
she-
be teaching them such a great and moral lesson.
she picks
Aren't you
up-
a wonderful teacher? Thank you.
She picks up one of the books and sort of shows you, and it's basically a picture of, it's obviously a demon drawn in blood, and someone has coloured it in using dye like a child would, halfway around. See, the children love colouring in.
that
Yes,
cool.
but perhaps they should not be colouring in mind flayers. That would be somewhat disturbing for children, I imagine. I'm sure you could find a great many more
but
appropriate
look at
books
this
for
one,
children.
he's so
And in the
happy.
meanwhile, I would so hate to have to report you for theft.
Just looks at this, points at another one, and it's obviously like a really massive fang demon. It looks horrendously demonic, but it's got this huge grin, and she goes, he looks so happy. We can call him Stephen.
Why would you name a drawing?
Stephen the demon?
He's not a demon. I don't know he's a demon. I mean, Grunnings is a really nice man too. He could be in this book. I don't know.
He might be indeed, but again, the point remains that these are property of our employer, and we will be required to return them. Thank you so much for your help.
But what would the children use?
Hey, ma'am. Excuse me, ma'am. So, you see that demon there, that smiling demon, Stephen?
Yes, lovely Stephen.
Oh, we love Stephen. So, we were actually hired by Stephen. We know Stephen.
Is Stephen a poster boy for dental work? I did wonder. I mean, he's got very
Stephen
nice
is
teeth.
not. But you know what? Stephen has some kids. He has some kids, but he's always away on business. And his kids actually use this book to look at him and remember what Daddy looks like. So Stephen actually hired us. Yeah, that's lovely.
Children.
Yes. So we actually need these books. We were hired by Stephen to get these books so that we could bring them back to his children.
At this point, you hear a scream outside. And as you run to the window and look outside, the guy who had been in Maud's hut lying on the slab is now just running half naked through the streets, screaming, "You're all going to die," and waving his arms frantically.
This is perfect.
This is not ideal.
I mean, at least we know he's not a fuzzy beast. He's running.
Yes.
And it's fine. Daddy's mobilizing them to arms. It's okay. By the way, you should absolutely give us our property back and go and join the talk led by Daddy because he has some important news.
Think of Stephen and the children.
And yeah, think of the fact that while your argument is let the children enjoy a coloring book, our argument is don't steal from us.
Stephen.
Don't steal Stephen from us.
Don't you care about Stephen? Don't you not want to steal from him? You're making Stephen sad.
Oh, I don't want to make Stephen sad.
Yeah, so we should... Stephen will be happy again if you give us back the books.
She sort of begrudgingly accepts it and you pick up the pile of books as Maud's standing next to you just looking at you like, how the fuck did you manage that?
Thank you very much for your cooperation.
I think like them. I am them.
You've always lived here.
You've never left.
I too am a dumb dwarf. Not that dumb though.
As you walk back outside, we will go to our next time slot. You notice the old man walking back towards where you are. Maud is leaving and going towards the town square. You notice that everyone else seems to be gathered in the town square. What do you want to do?
I think realistically we need to be in the town square actually, don't we? Or do we have the options to start searching for mines?
I think we should stick around and make sure that the people actually mobilize to fight and that the conversation goes the way we need it to go.
Well, they seem to listen to Daddy, and Daddy said he is going to have them get to arms.
Well, Daddy is always right.
And quite honestly, if these things are about to hatch, we don't really have time to waste when we already know what he's going to say.
True.
Yeah,
What are our options here?
Town hall or town square?
Those are our options.
Well, you could go to the inn as well, but there's just Reese there, so it's up to yourselves.
So we can or we cannot try to travel to the mines?
There's nowhere that you know, because Daddy didn't know where the mines were, he just knew that there were mines. There's nowhere obvious you can travel to them.
So we need to find somebody who would know.
So, town square anyways. Okay.
Yeah, that seems like the obvious.
Harris is older than Daddy, so he might know.
So you arrive in the town square, and everyone's sort of gathered and looks quite alarmed. You notice that Gerard Blacksmith is standing sort of on it's kind of a raised plinth area, and he's going, "Now don't you worry everyone, Daddy's down there, he's gonna fix the fountain."
We did break their fountain. We probably stopped the water supply when we iced it.
Yeah.
But it needed to get done, right?
Yes, we just need to convince them that the bigger issue is mobilizing to fight the bunnies that will side with the squirrels and the rats.
Yes.
And who are actually dangerous.
At this point, you hear Panicked Man from before telling everyone to get out of his way. You notice that he's grabbed the one remaining cart and a couple of horses and is desperately trying to get his way through the crowd of people to get out of the village.
Oh yeah, we forgot about him.
Should we just let him go? I mean, he's been through a lot.
At this point, you also notice that Grunnings has definitely left.
Wait,
Do we want to have this be a tackle moment?
I could tackle him.
If it's the one remaining card, then.
What about the cart we came on?
That's the one he's on now.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's stealing our stuff. Go tackle him.
yeah.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
gonna
me.
go run and tackle him. So I guess that's like a strength test?
Yep, do a strength test to tackle him off the coach. Yep, you run, you jump, you get a decent amount of air, you manage to get footing on the side of the cart, and you like spear him off the side of it. So you're now
I got you.
lying on the ground as the horses behind you on the cart are like rearing up and complaining that the cord's suddenly gone from them, and the man under you is frantically saying, "You don't understand. We need to get out of here now."
No, I definitely understand, sir. I mean, I don't understand a lot of things, but I'm pretty sure I understand this. And you're not stealing our shit. Nope.
Can I attempt to handle the horses, calm them down?
Yep. Roll animal handling. You calm them down enough. Everyone around is still quite sort of agitated that there's these two horses in the middle of the pack of people.
So as calm as I could reasonably get them. Okay.
Mr. Naked Cart Driver, sir, we're gonna need you to, I don't know. Cyril, what are we gonna need him to do?
Again, that really depends on what we plan on doing now. Do we stay and help potentially fight off this, I don't know, is it an invasion? Feeding ground?
Infestation?
Invasion?
Slaughter.
In which case, do we need... Honestly, at this point, the carriage seems to me like we can try and keep it around as a last resort. We can use it to transport non-combatants out.
Yeah,
I mean,
like Jack. I
yeah,
don't think he's gonna be very useful.
like Jack. And I haven't seen any around, but there was a fight about the children, so presumably there are some.
I think we should definitely keep the cart around. So no stealing the cart, Mr. Naked Man.
Mr. Naked Carriage Driver, sir.
Mr.
We
Naked
might
Carriage
actually
Driver, sir.
To drive the carriage at a slightly better moment when there are people in it.
Yeah, we'll let you leave, but you have to take people with you.
He sort of frantically looks at you and goes, Fine, just get them in quickly.
Okay, so we're gonna have to convince these people to round up Jack and the children.
Alright.
Let's have a word with Daddy and explain that, the fountain is not the issue at the moment. The issue is the fighting of the squirrels.
Yes.
Alright, so you're gonna go and look down beneath the fountain?
Yes.
Alright, as you look beneath the fountain, you see Daddy basically like attacking the frost with what looks like some sort of crowbar and muttering to himself, I don't know how this fucking happened.
Oh no, he can't break the ice. Don't let him break the ice.
Yes, of course. Daddy, that was the squirrels. We need you to come up and talk to people about fighting the squirrels. The fuzzy things.
What kind of squirrels do you know that frost breath?
The kind that can change shapes and do all of that, like we warned you about in the field.
Maybe you're right about leaving this place.
If you would,
He puts
please
his crowbar
come up
down
and
climbs
talk
up the ladder,
about...
climbs up the ladder, and everyone sort of looks saying, have you fixed the fountain?
I'll be back on it shortly. I just have to have a wee talk with these people first.
So he turns to face you and says,
Right, well, what's your plan?
Well, first we have to round up all the little children, and probably Jack too, anyone who can't fight the squirrels. And we have to get them away from town.
Right, okay.
And I don't have a plan from there.
And then we would stick with your very brave and meticulous plan about, going in pairs and preparing to fight when the squirrels come.
alright.
He goes, well, I guess I could fix that.
And he walks to the group of people and he talks to them for about the next 5-10 minutes about how, as a precaution, they should let, the younglings and Jack, for example, go with the cart driver. And people grudgingly agree. So as you watch this cart disappear off with the children and Jack into the distance, basically you're like, oh well, I guess that in pairs will work. Over the next about 4 or 5 days, everything's really quiet. Nothing really happens. You look around, you've basically been trying to find this mine. Eventually you find that it's full of dust and bones. There's nothing living been here in a long, long time. And as you're beginning to cross off the days until the cart comes back, because you told him at least to send someone to come back to you, you're waiting 4 or 5 days, 6 days, 7 days, 8 days, still no cart. You have one horse remaining and they want to send a messenger to find out what happened to the cart. And as they send a messenger to the south, they hear that a chunk of the city in the south has been overrun by these beasts. It seems they escaped on the cart. Unfortunately, you did not save the world.
Oh my god. The kids.
Yeah. I mean,
Or Jack.
The fact that it was less than a day to travel away with the cart, the fact that we didn't get anyone back after 2 days made it obvious to me.
Oh no.
They were talking about that Jack looked weird.
Yeah. But Jack also talked, though.
Oh shit, those things talk.
Oh shit.
So, you might not have saved the world, but people can come and see your content if you do other things. So, do you guys do anything you want to basically tout? Just do it now. So, starting at the top with Anam.
What? Oh, I'm unclear.
Any plugging you want to do, any, like, I do this writing, I do this thing, I do that, just plug it where
You do commissions
where
and
people
etc.
find you, that whole stuff.
Yes. So you can find me on Twitter as at writes Anam. I write Fire Emblem 3 Houses stuff, and 18 plus though. And let's see, I do Ko-fi commissions too. You can find me as Anam Writes on Ko-fi.
Cool. Next is Mads.
I don't do commissions, but if you can find Anam Runie, then you can find me somewhere in there. Because I don't do commissions, I will just point out that I am presently wearing my very wonderful and comfortable Penance RPG t-shirt and hoodie, which are keeping me quite warm, actually. Thank you.
Thanks, advertising. Ding!
You're welcome.
Next is Ollie.
I'm not currently doing anything worth plugging, and I'm not very active on social media, so...
Fair enough then. Tauno?
Yeah, similar to Ollie, I don't really have much of an online presence, though I will also plug the Penance RPG podcast, particularly the Abyss run, and I suppose if that is popular enough, I might be invited back on something in the future.
I have something potentially planned for next year, and if I need folk for it, I will definitely give you a shout.
Yay.
And finally, we have Runie.
I do some writing, and you can find me at Runik's fanfic page on Ko-fi. So that's where I'm at.
Alright, so it's thank you from me, thank you from the cast, and good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.